I now call the Iberia Economic Development District Number 1 meeting to order. It's Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025. The time is 5:47. We'll have the prayer led by Chad Machuran and the pledge by Councilman Lloyd Brown. Mr. Machuran.
Lord in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
Mr. Lloyd.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Tommy Pollard.
Here.
Michael Landry. Marcus Broussard. Lloyd Brown.
Here.
Warren Gosherson.
Here.
Natalie Broussard. Here. Dustin Swear.
Here.
James Trahan.
Here.
Scott Ronsonet.
Here.
Brock Pellerin.
Here.
Brian Napier. Lady Fontanet Brown. Cayman Crapel. Chad Machuran.
All right, we have 11 members in a quorum. I need a motion to go into public comments. I have a motion by Mr. Gosherson, a second by Mr. Pollard. Please vote your machines to go into public comments.
1 minute.
All right, we're now into public comments. Seeing and hearing none. I need a motion to go back into regular session. I have a motion by Councilman Warren Gosherson, a second by Tommy Pollard. Please vote your machines to go back into regular session. All right, we're now back into regular session. We have approval of minutes, regular minutes of March 26, 2024. I need a motion. Have a motion by Councilman Warren Gosherson. I need a second. Have a second by Councilman Scott Ronsonet. Any discussion on the minutes? Seeing and hearing none, please vote your machines on adoption of the minutes. That motion carries. Next, we have special business. There's none. Ordinances introduced for public hearing. There's none. Resolutions. Summary number 08, introduced by Parish President. Madam Clerk.
A resolution authorizing the Iberia Parish President to execute Okay. A resolution amending the 2025 road projects construction fund budget 3440 and the amount of $20,952,850 to appropriate funding for Phase 1 Project A, B, and C for road improvements throughout Iberia Parish, with same to be funded from $17 million bond revenue and road sales tax fund and $750,000 from the EDD number 1 fund budget budgeted in 2025.
Madam Clerk, let the record reflect Councilman Michael Landry is in attendance with us tonight. I need a motion. I have a motion by Councilman Warren Gosherson and a second by Councilman Scott Ronsonet. Councilman Gosherson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, at the appropriate time, I'd ask for a motion to delete for this money has been appropriated in the 25 fiscal operating budget. But I do believe the administration had wanted to say something.
If you don't mind.
Can I go to my second?
Yes.
All right. Wait to Mr. Okay, go ahead, Parish President.
Okay. First of all, thank you guys for carrying this forward at the last council meeting. On April the 9th, which the date we had the last council meeting, we had some things that we was working out, but the publication for the agenda had already gone out. The Port of Iberia is actually requesting some $20 million. I'm going to try to leave all of the details out where this money is proposed to come from, because we don't want to give any other parishes an idea on how to do this here, but I gave each one of you the letter earlier for you to read this here. So all of your dollars that we were talking about using to do road projects at the Port of Iberia is not in this here at all. So the only thing we're going to do at the Port of Iberia last year, you guys carried forward for this year $750,000 to do to do roads at the Port of Iberia. So those roads will be David Dubois Road and Unifab Road. So they're going to go out for bid. David Bayrard Road and Unifab Road. Thank you so much. So that's gonna go out for bid, and hopefully we can get those two roads done at the $750,000. You're gonna find out later that all of this is gonna change because we are really gonna be, I don't know if we need to talk about this now because it's not on this agenda. So when the full council meetings start, we'll talk about the $17 million that's being bonded and the roads that we're gonna bid out for for those particular projects. And that's it. Any questions from anyone, I'll be more than happy to answer.
So Rossini, you still have the floor.
I'm good, thank you.
Rossini, you was back. All right, Councilman Goshenson.
Mr. Chairman, at this time, I'd like to make a motion to delete.
All right, the motion to delete by Councilman Goshenson, have a second by Mr. Rossini. Please vote your machines to delete. And that motion is deleted.
Before you adjourn, can I say one more thing,
Yes.
please? I know we have the full council meeting coming up in a few minutes. I think I articulated this pretty good without saying exactly what's going on with the letter that's in front of you. When we go to the real agenda at the full council meeting, I would just like to show you all of the roads that's actually going to be going out for bid. But I really don't want to start talking about this letter that was written because I definitely don't want to get into a position where I'm going to slip and say something that I don't want aired. Okay, guys?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right, finish. All right, next we have ordinances introduced for publication. There is none. I need a motion to adjourn. Have a motion by Brock Parliament, a second by Tommy Pollitt. Please vote your machines for adjournment. All right, the meeting is adjourned. It's 5:53. I now call the Iberia Parish Council meeting to order. It's April 23rd, 2025. The time is 6:01. We'll have the prayer by Councilman Chad Marchand and the pledge by Councilman Lloyd Brown. Mr. Marchand?
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
Mr. Brown?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Tommy Pollard. Here. Michael Landry. Here. Marcus Broussard. Lloyd Brown.
Here.
Warren Goshenson.
Here.
Natalie Broussard. Here. Justin Swear.
Here.
James Trahan.
Here.
Scott Ronsonet. Here. Brock Pellerin. Here. Ryan Napier. Lady Fontanet Brown. Here. Cameron Crapel. Here. Chad Marchand.
All right, we have 12 members in a quorum. We'll go on to council member announcements. Anybody have any? Ms. Councilwoman Natalie Broussard.
I do know that there's representatives here tonight on the agenda for the Iberia Mental Health Initiative, but I do just want to remind everybody, in addition to that, that the Bayou Side Race will be held May 3rd of 2025 in downtown. Registration online is ongoing, and I encourage everybody to participate either by a runner or a walker or coming out there, seeing the vendors and the people there to help bring awareness to mental health in Iberia Parish. That's it.
You back? Ms. Broussard, you is back. Any other council member announcements? All right, seeing none, we'll go on to parish president announcements.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Litter abatement took place on Saturday, April the 12th. A total of 8 people participated from 8 a.m. to noon. 76 bags of trash was collected around El Terrio Road and Grand Prairie Road, and everything else that goes with the bags, the wood and the mattresses and the whole 9 yards. From April the 9th through April the 22nd, the Public Works Department completed several tasks, which included culvert cleaning, debris pickup, road patching, road repairs, side booming, and other work as you see detailed on the screen, along with the districts and the work that was actually performed. Today I'm going to give a little bit of updates on projects, the 2 projects that we're talking about right now. is the tax that was passed last year for the roads. We bonded $17 million, as you guys know. We have some 38 roads that we bidding out right now. You're gonna see it saying Project A, Project B, and Project C. Basically what those Project A, what it means is the name of the company that's gonna be actually doing the work for those roads. Project B is the company that's gonna be doing the work for those roads, and Project C is the company that's gonna be doing the work for those roads. I elected not to put the company's name up here today because we actually talked about them earlier, who we're using to, the 3 engineering firms that, that we're using to do this. So instead of just over and over saying the same thing, I elected not to do that. $17 million is all we're gonna be bidding. Hopefully we can get all of those roads done with that $17 million. If not, then I would come to you guys and tell you that we couldn't get all of the roads done with the 17 million. But you know we're receiving a few dollars more right now than we projected. So even if it go above, I would come back, you know, get your guys' permission to see if you wanted to use some of those other dollars to do the roads if we need them. And if we get those 38 roads done for 15 million, I'll come back and tell you, let's start taking some of the roads that we don't have on that particular list. So with that said, that's where we're at with the $17 million. We do have that that's not gonna be a resolution because you guys already put $750,000 last year in the budget from the TIF district. So we do have 2 roads that we're gonna be doing at the port, which is in the TIF district, and those 2 roads, as you can see, is David Bayrard Road and Unifab Road. So those 2 are gonna go out for bid, and hopefully they come back on the 750, and we get those 2 roads done. Okay, with that, additional information, Household Waste Day is gonna take place on Saturday, May the 3rd, from 9 o'clock to 12 noon. That's gonna be in the back parking lot of the courthouse. This event is for Iberia Parish residents only, and IDs will be checked. A detailed list of items that will and will not be accepted is available on our website and our Facebook. We do need volunteers for this event, so if any of you are available, just contact Cindy and let's get some volunteers to try to make this another success. Iberia Parish government is currently hiring for several positions. You can see those positions listed on the screen. For more information about those positions and learn how to apply, please visit our website. We encourage all qualified candidates to explore these opportunities and join us in serving the residents of Iberia Parish. And actually, the purchasing agent position, I'll say this publicly, we just made an offer to someone and they accept that, was it yesterday? Today. So we're doing good with that. But the other positions, as you see, is a senior accounting technician, mosquito control specialist, a maintenance worker for Water Work District number 3, wastewater treatment and collection operator, Generate Museums attendant, building inspector. We're really waiting for that building inspector because when that person come in, that person is going to be doing building inspections, but he's also going to be doing nuisance. So you know we're still waiting on an ordinance from you guys for several things that we're trying to get done as far as it pertains to permit planning and zoning. Public Works, we're looking for people for Public Works, Public Safety, Telecommunications 911. We're looking for people in that department as well. Remember to visit the website and please let us know if you see anything that needs to be changed. Let us know because we want to address it as quick as possible and keep this a working website for the people of Iberia Parish. And with that said, Mr. Chairman, if anyone have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer.
I think we have one from Councilman Warren Gossison. Councilman Gossison?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. President, at this point, we had the conversations about the Lewis Street overlay. Are y'all planning to come with a project change order, or are you gonna come just for additional appropriations?
It's going to be more just appropriations. Basically, want me to explain everything that took place or what? Or
Well, I mean, the thing is, have we got a cost analysis on the change outs?
The engineer is doing that right now. We have like 8 crossings, Warren. And first of all, thank you so much for bringing those crossings to my attention because we work as a team, and thank God we didn't overlay this road without taking a deep look at those particular crossings, because all of them are gonna need to be changed. And it's a big deal because those crossings are like 10 feet deep into the ground. It's not like what we did or like what we do in public works when we change a crossing across the street that might be 2 or 3 feet deep. This is like 10 feet deep. So it's gonna be an expense. The engineering company have said they estimate it to be somewhere around $200,000, but for all 8. But it's something that's definitely gonna need to be done, because if we're gonna spend $1.5 million or $2 million to do this, we certainly don't want to be cutting that road up in 4 or 5 years from now.
Just make sure you get it to us in time so we don't delay anything. Keep the ball rolling. We
Absolutely.
gotta expedite it through the council chambers. Let's do that. But as soon as you get the figure, definitely send it on down, and we'll get the motion to amend through EDD and come through full.
We will. They're taking care of it right now.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Mr. Gus is saying he was back. Any other questions, comments for the parish president? All right, seeing and hearing none, I need a motion to go into public comments. A motion by Tommy Pollard, a second by Scott Ronson. Please vote your machines to go into public comments. Ms. Broussard? All right, we're now into public comments. Item number 1, comments from the general public on agenda items. We have Mr. Mo Songi, Airport Director. Please state your name and your title, sir.
Okay, Mo Sanji, Executive Director, Iberia Parish Airport Authority.
And before you get started, Mr. Moore, I'd just like to let you know that normally you'd have to get on the agenda for a non-agenda item for joint committee, but I'm gonna let you speak on the importance of this matter.
I appreciate
So
it.
I'll give you some time to let you speak on this.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I'm here in reference to an agenda item from the April 9th council meeting, which was a budget adjustment to cover the cost of a contract for a Washington DC lobbying firm and the purchase of a zero-turn radius mower. I'm not going to name the firms by the name, but I'm only going to refer to them as Firm A and Firm B. On Wednesday, March 26th, the Finance Committee passed the budget adjustment unanimously without any opposition. I didn't come to the Wednesday, April 9th meeting when it was up to vote for the full council, because I just assumed that because the item passed unopposed during the committee, I had no reason to believe it wouldn't move forward during the full council meeting. I learned the next day that the council voted to table a budget adjustment without a date to hear it again. That day, I was busy dealing with the FAA and NTSB concerning an aircraft accident at Lemaire Airport, so I didn't know what was it about or what we had to do until I watched the video of the meeting on Friday. The verbiage was used that I should meet with the parish president and see if we can come up with some agreement to hire the same guy to save money. The first thing I'd like to state is that the budget adjustment and all the operation of the airport cost the citizens of Iberia Parish a single dime. We're a self-sustaining entity, and all of our operating revenue comes from airport leases and aviation fuel flowage fees. Federal law states that any revenue generated at the airport must be used at the airport to operate and develop it. Because of the verbiage used for the reason for the table, I assumed that the Iberia Parish government had not hired a lobbying firm yet. On Friday, April 11th, I sent you all an email to stress the importance of moving forward with the budget adjustment. An email came back on Monday, April 14th, stating my information was inaccurate, and a letter of engagement with Firm B, dated January 29th, 2025, was attached, along with an email chain asking Firm B if they could provide the services, and a response from Firm B saying they could. After receiving the email, I made a request to the council clerk on Tuesday, April 15th, that the item be put back on the agenda for April 23rd, but I was informed that I missed the deadline to do so. Just so you know, Firm B has been doing work for the airport off and on for at least the past 10 years. They were working a major issue for us as late as February 2024. At that time and the time leading up to that, we didn't feel that enough activity was taking place by Firm B, and started getting conflicting information between what the representative Firm B was telling us and what our congressional office was telling us. I can show you emails between myself and Airport Authority Chairman Patrick Norris stating our displeasure with the status and concern with the lack of activity. We started seeking advice on what to do, and under the recommendation of the governor of Louisiana, we touched base with a representative from Firm A. This representative listened to what we were trying to do and what we were being told, and he said we'd make a few phone calls to get back with us. He contacted us a couple of days later and explained what was going on and what we needed to do to have any chance of pushing the issue through. He said what needed to be done should have started months ago. He said we didn't have time to work through a contract, but he would work on the issue to try to get it resolved pro bono. He picked up the ball and ran with it. he was able to get it into committee where they were hearing the FAA Reauthorization Act, where the committee chairman was going to include it in what is referred to as the chairman's mark in the reauthorization. Due to some backdoor dealings to get more air carrier slots at Washington National Airport, the Reauthorization Act was signed without the chairman getting to add his mark to the bill. Regardless, Firm A did more to resolve the issue in 3 months than Firm B did in 2 years. So here we are trying to do what's best in the best interest of the airport and hire Firm A. But our budget adjustment to fund Firm A was tabled in full council. In hopes we'd hire Firm B to save money. Although I can respect the idea of saving money is not always what's best. All I care about is what's in the best interest of the airport, and I feel that Firm A is what's best for the airport. If the parish government wants for Firm B to provide lobbying services, then that's fine, but my past experience is that we want Firm A representing the airport. I'm here to ask that the budget adjustment be added back to the council agenda to be passed so we can do what's in the best interest of the airport. Thank you. I'll answer any questions.
Is there any questions for Mr. Songi? Let's see, we have one by Councilman Warren Gusherson.
Mr. Sonye, thank you, Sanjay, thank you for coming. I guess my concern is this the first time I ever got any update of what y'all been able to do in lobbying in Washington. Why does it take an amendment to be tabled for you to send out an email letting us know what's going on at the airport? Because I've asked the administration if they knew what was going on with the lobbyists, and I apologize, I wasn't here for the committee. I did lead the charge to table it because we did have a lobbying firm that I thought is reputable, that we could save money. A lot of times in parish government, different agencies do different things, and it costs us money down the road. So I'm not looking for just the best interest at the airport, but I'm looking for the best interest for the taxpayers' dollars. And no matter what you say, it may be general from rentals, but at the end of the day, it's still the people's airport. So I guess I'm getting to the point is, you come here to tell us this, why don't we get an update from you yearly of what's going on? The only time we see you is during the budget process. You seem to feel so, I guess, compelled to come here to speak your mind on this and through an email and say that we didn't have a lobbying firm. This is the problem we have, and you're gonna see tonight where communication's just not happening. There's a breakdown from the airport authority to Iberia Parish government. Can you tell me about that too, while you're here?
You want me to give your periodic
No,
updates?
I just want to know what steered you to come give you this update now? Why are we getting this update now?
Well, because we had a budget adjustment to do what's right for the airport. It went unopposed in committee, and then it was shot down. I mean,
So it's because of the budget adjustment we're getting this information, is what you're saying? And you're opposed to Firm B because of, can you elaborate a little more?
well, they had to provide a good service for us.
Can you tell, just telling me they hadn't provided good service, can you give me a scenario of what they've done?
I thought I just did.
No. You generalized saying Firm A and Firm B, you never gave specifics. Well, you just said that they accomplished more, Firm A did, in 3 months than Firm B in 2 years.
Right.
So can you tell me what was accomplished more in those 3 months than what was Firm B working on in 2 years?
Firm B was working on the noise waiver we've been dealing with since, I think it first got put in 2016. The problem is, in 2018, it was actually signed into law, but Firm B was working on this, and I'm not saying they were at fault with this happening, but the verbiage that was put in and put into law actually excluded the K-9 Regional Airport.
And there was no other projects that was excluded in that reauthorization act?
No. That was the only,
So we were the only one that was excluded project-wise in the reauthorization bill?
I don't know. I'm
No,
not
you
concerned.
just said Acadiana Regional Airport was the,
Wait,
it was
now
us.
let's back up a little bit.
Okay, please.
So this noise waiver, this has been going on since, I think, 2016.
Okay,
It
we're
was
getting
signed, it was
somewhere
signed,
now.
it was
I
signed.
remember that when I first
Okay.
came here.
All right, so it was signed, it was actually signed into law in 2018.
Okay,
I don't know who put the verbiage the way it is. That was way before my time. But it actually, the verbiage, even though it was it put in place for the K-9 Regional Airport, the verbiage excluded the K-9 Regional Airport.
okay.
I don't know who put the verbiage in.
I just-
When I saw the verbiage and it was signed into law, I tried to do what I could to correct it and get us actually, and that's the verbiage was actually going into the FAA Reauthorization Act to correct the verbiage.
And who did you say recommended Firm A?
Governor of Louisiana.
He recommended it. Okay.
Firm A, yeah, the governor.
I guess in the future, would you please keep us as the council informed of projects?
Absolutely.
I'll give you another example, and then I'll let you, I'll
Sure.
yield back, Mr. Chairman. Where are we with our hangar program? I have yet to hear
We
anything
are-
about the hangars.
The slab's poured, we're waiting on steel.
Okay. Are we gonna still be within the budget?
Yes. Yep.
All right. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yield back,
Thank y'all
Mr.
for having me. Any
Chairman.
more?
Mr. Gus is saying yields back. Any other questions from Mr. Songi? Seeing none. Thank you, Mr. Moe.
Thank you. Thank y'all.
Right. Next, we have Mr. Patrick Norris. Can you please state your name and title, Mr. Norris?
Yes, sir. Patrick Norris, Chairman, Iberia Parish Airport Authority Commission.
You're speaking on agenda item number 86.
Yes, 86. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, right here. I'm here to address the council right here on resolution number 86 right here, in reference to House Bill 613. There's a resolution on the table tonight right here for y'all to oppose it. This bill is been filed in the legislature right here to create a airport district. There's been a huge trend in the aviation world going on right now, moving towards airports, all becoming airport districts across the U.S. Currently, just in our area right here, Chenault, Lake Charles Regional, Lafayette, Alexandria, and Houma have all become airport districts over the last 15 or so years. Currently, Baton Rouge right now has a bill filed right here to remove it from the city municipal authorization authority and for them to create their own airport district. The commission feels that this is an avenue that the airport needs to pursue going forward in order to put itself on the same playing fields as all these other airports. In the last 30 years, there's been no airport that has become an airport district that transitioned back to what we call a governmental model or a municipal model type airport under the same governmental control. Advantages for doing this right here is financial independence. It would allow the airport district to issue revenue-generated bonds that would make it totally responsible for any bonds that it generates and not hold the parish government liable for any bonds that would be done. Currently in the position we're in today right now, if we have to issue a bond, we would have to come through Iberia Parish government and present it through them, and Iberia Parish government would also be responsible for the bond if something would happen to the bond payments. It would free up capacity for the bonding capacity for the parish, and also, excuse me here. It also is going to make it to have the authority district to have more independence from any political shifts over the years, allowing for long-term planning and quicker decision-making. Management is going to be able to be more specific to the aviation needs and the challenges. Authority exists solely to manage the airport, so decisions are typically more aviation and business-centric. Baton Rouge is one of the issues that Baton Rouge is doing it right here that, we kind of saw also right here was that whenever they lost their airport director a couple of years ago and they went to hire a new one right here, they couldn't compete with other airports because they were stuck under the city pay scale of what the city government had. It's kind of the same thing with us. A couple of years back from our last director, when he resigned to go out of state right here, and we went to hire a new director. The issue we had is we couldn't compete with some of the pay that they were looking for, we've had some applicants that put the application in and then pulled the application right here because they didn't like the two-tier process or the two-tier level of management, meaning an airport commission and a government body controlling the airport commission. They wanted to work just for an airport commission solely. Under this bill right here, creating the district, the Iberia Parish government is still going to own all the property. They're still going to collect all their sales taxes. They're still going to collect all the ad valorem taxes. They're still going to collect all the EDD TIF district taxes. And the airport is still going to present, the airport budget to the council. I know you have gotten some calls right here from let's just say an individual right here concerning about mineral rights that was granted to the family over the years. This will not change. That was a mandate that was done by the federal government whenever the property transitioned from the federal government to back then the police jury system. That is not going to affect none of that. We have other districts in the parish right here. The hospital has their own district. The parish fire district has their own district. The port is a state entity right here that operates within its own entity. AIDA is its own state entity that operates within their own boundaries, basically as a business. And this is what the airport would become. It would become its own entity and operate within itself. We would take over, all the accounting right now that is run through the parish or whatever. That would be taken within the airport district. Currently, right now, we pay for all of the insurance for all the buildings and everything at the airport, either through a policy through us right here that's paid, with Iberia Parish government through a line item from our budget, or it's paid, insurance is covered through the lease agreement with triple net leases right here to cover all of the buildings. Since this became public right here, we've had a lot of calls right here encouraging us to continue with this process, just to put us on the same playing field as all these other airports right here. We've gotten support from DOTD Aviation of Louisiana. A couple of our major tenants right here, Academy Aviation, AVEX, Freeman Jet Centers that operates 24 jet centers throughout the United States and Hawaii that deals with various airports, all across the U.S. And feel that, this would be a very positive move for the airport, bringing it to the next level. I know there's been a lot of questions right here from different council members. I would like to address some of them right here before I kind of open it up to questions right here. And one of the biggest things is why didn't we come to the parish council? In the past right here, they some years back, Senator Bright Allen made this proposal to the parish council back then and got shot down. Another time, I believe it was Senator Troy Romero, if he was senator or representative, he came with a proposal to merge the Port of Iberia and the airport, and that got shot down. When you look at, the ability to do something like this right here, and it always gets shot down, future commissioners after that or past commissioners before us right here didn't want to attempt to bring it, to have this discussion for the fear of it just being shot down and not moving forward. We had the bill written and filed. It hasn't been heard yet. It hasn't been passed yet or anything right here. It's been filed and accepted right here, but it hasn't gone anywhere. So with that, I know there's going to be a question right here that I have been questioned, and we have been questioned. When I say I mean we, the commission, that we didn't pass a resolution to do this. On the advice of legal, we were told we didn't have to do it because nothing has changed yet. It has not been presented. It has not been signed by the governor or anybody else. There's been no transfer of anything from duties or responsibilities or whatever. So it didn't require a resolution by us. Since the bill has been filed right here, I can assure you our next meeting that as the bill moves forward, that the resolution will be passed. And we do have unanimous support of the airport commission. There's another question that's been presented to us about the appointments on the airport district. In the bill, it's shown that we have 2 that's going to be appointed by parish council, 2 by the city, 1 from Generette, and 1 from the new airport district. A lot of question as to why has the city been allowed to appoint 2 members. we feel right here, Warren, like you said earlier right here, that the airport is for the people of the parish, and you're correct. It's not Iberia Parish government's airport. It's for the people of the parish. And the parish is everyone. It's the rural area of the parish. It's the city of New Iberia. It's the city of Jeanerette, the village of Lowerville, Coteau, Lydia, Grand Mary, Delcom. We all one. Whatever happens at the airport is going to affect everyone involved. It affects the parish. If, something good that happens right here and we grow from it, it affects everyone. If it's something bad, we're all going to feel the pain. So why not allow them to have an appointment on it? If that's something that's a deal breaker, we're willing to discuss it. We open. Another one right here, another question I was asked on was insurance. Who pays the insurance on all the buildings and everything at the airport? We pay the insurance. Like I said earlier, whatever, that's covered through partial payment through Iberia Parish government and or through our tenant-based leases right here, whether it's triple net lease or whatever it may be. But all the buildings and everything right here will continue to be insured and covered one way, shape, or form. Funding. Also got asked today, by one of the council members right here is on the funding aspect or whatever, dealing a lot with FAA funding sources right here. I was asked to present some numbers right here to show what the difference would be in the different type of airports. Was only be able to research since it was a last minute request right here, but just to give you an idea, our biggest competitor is Chenault in Lake Charles. They were created at the same time that the airport of New Iberia was created. It was shut down about the same time as the airport in New Iberia. The acreage is about the same. The revenue is about the same. If you look at the airport revenue for revenue, they generated about $2 million in revenues. Their budget last year, their fiscal P&L statement showed a touch over $19 million in revenue, and over $17 million of that came from ad valorem taxes. So their true leases and income from the airport is about $2 million. We're at $1.8 million when you look at all of our income, leases, ag, fuel florage, so on and so forth or whatever. So we're pretty compatible airport-wise. FAA does different types of funding. They have entitlements, they have discretionary. Discretionary, you have to give a 5-year plan to FAA and put down what your needs may be. And then they decide what money you're going to get. It's not a question of going lobby for the money, which we do, but it's, their decision or whatever over a 5-year plan. We went back and checked the records right here, and it's a public information. In the last 10 years on discretionary funding, Acadiana Regional Airport got $1,068,000. And entitlement money over the last 10 years, we got $3.4 million. So roughly about $4.5 million in the last 10 years. Chenault got $4.7 million in entitlement money, and they got $16.5 million in discretionary money, for a total of over $21 million compared to our $4.5 million. What does that result to? It's the way FAA looks at you. They like independent run airports. And when I say independent or whatever, it resorts back to the districts. They like airports that aren't controlled so much by one entity. Now, are you going to go over there and find this written somewhere? You're not going to find it written. But in all our discussions, in all our meetings, when we go to FAA in Dallas, when we go to FAA in Washington, D.C., and we're in front of them all, you can tell, their opinion of how things are going or their vision of what airports should be. We requested $1.5 million for our tower renovation. We got $500,000. We're going to have to keep requesting this money year after year right here until we can totally renovate our tower. We have a full-fledged 7-day-a-week tower, manned, contracted through FAA, manned towers right here. And, it needs a lot of renovation. It's an old building. built in the late 50s. We have Building 92, which is adjacent to the tower that we've been asking funding for. It's a hell of a building. It's Fort Knox. It's got cement floors, cement ceilings, cement walls, brick veneer on top of that right here. We can't do anything with it because of the asbestos and the lead paint in it. That's going to run us between the last engineering costs we got on what it would take to renovate it, to either be able to rent it out or for us to use it or do something with, was in excess between $4 to $5 million to remediate all of this. We don't have the funds for that, and it's something that FAA isn't going to put money towards. That's not what they think is a priority. So things like that we just have to deal with. Anyway, we're here right here requesting to support the bill. I know there's going to be a lot of discussions, a lot of questions asked right here. Anyway, I'll open it up to the floor.
All right, well, let's see if we have any questions for Mr. Norris. We have Councilman Warren Gusherson.
Welcome back, Chairman Norris. I guess the question I have for you, you mentioned earlier about Lake Charles, a regional airport. Do you know how their authorities compromised, how they're appointed on that board?
Yeah, so actually the appointment process that we put in the bill right here duplicates Lake Charles Regional.
No, sir. No, sir. Lake Charles Regional is appointed by the Calcasieu Parish Police Jury. All members are appointed by the police jury. Now, you're talking about Chenault. You might have
well, maybe I confused it.
So to go back to Chenault deal, and I'm agreeing it's a little more similar, but just to read this to you, by virtue of the act and joint initiative of Calcasieu Parish, City of Lake Charles, Calcasieu School Board, and the State Board of Elementary Education, a special district was created through an intergovernmental agreement, contract, and local service agreement. So there's a big difference of what y'all trying to do at the state level and what was done at that airport. So that airport compromises of 2 members appointed by the Calcasieu Parish, 2 members appointed by the City of Lake Charles, and 2 members appointed by Calcasieu Parish School Board. But they did a intergovernmental agreement between those 3 entities. So to go back to what you were saying, I was able to talk to some airports that are kind of similar to us, like Houma Terrebonne Airport is actually run completely by Terrebonne Parish government, and all of the members are appointed by that parish government. Abbeville Airport is actually run by the City of Abbeville with appointments. There's no appointments. Actually, the mayor of that town actually assists with the director there. The Lafayette Regional Airport is actually owned by LCG and appointed by LCG. And then Hammond North Shore is the same way. It's owned by the City of Hammond and appointed by recommendation of the mayor and ratified by the City Council. Now, to go back to what you were saying about FAA funding and DOTD funding, the City of New Orleans actually owns New Orleans International, and they get a ton of money. I don't have, for some reason I didn't bring that, but the City of New Orleans actually owns the airport and makes the appointment by mayor recommendation and ratification by the City of New Orleans, City Council of New Orleans. So to say that the trend is that, the trend may be just for Acadiana Regional Airport and possibly Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge is an exception. Baton Rouge was actually ratified a couple times. There's a 16-member board there that actually has appointments from members of the legislature. There's 2 appointments from 2 senators or ex-official, a proxy, and then there's a representative, and the rest are appointed by East Baton Rouge Parish. So, Mr. Pat, you and I had a conversation on the phone. This is what I was trying to get across to Mr. Moe. A lot of these conversations could have been had with the council. We could have had them here. We talked about earlier, this is the people's airport. I'm not disagreeing with you, but at the end of the day, why can't we have those conversations in this chamber? There's nothing secret about it. If y'all want to try to do that, let's have an open session. Maybe there's people in the general public that want to be a part of this conversation. Maybe you're onto something that council previous to us didn't see, but this is a different council. This council has actually, not to say anything bad about previous councils, but we've gotten a lot done over the last 10 years. Can you agree to that?
Well, I mean, as a council, yeah, I guess, things have moved forward. But I mean, we also, and looking at all the different airports right here, I mean, we just looked up, FAA information right here and looked at what they classified as districts, and that's what we based it off of.
Okay.
Now, Abbeville, I don't know, you and I had a discussion right here. I don't know what Abbeville is. I don't know if Abbeville is even an FAA airport or if they're just a state-sanctioned airport. I'm not sure. I didn't look at it at,
I do
at
have some
Abbeville.
questions for you in the bill. It says, you do have the authority to go and levy a tax. I know it's been said that that's not the purpose of this, but you did mention to, Chenault in, Lake Charles, and I want to go back to Chenault. Chenault actually does have a tax, like you said.
Right,
They
they have a-
actually have a millage of
millage, right.
5.45 mils that they were actually, they've been able to renew. And so when you talked about that process of that discretionary spending, can we at least agree that having a tax and having funds like they have can get you more access to that discretionary spending when you have skin in the game? Can we agree to that?
Yeah, that's true, because they've got a lot of the match already.
Okay, so that makes
But,
a big
but a
difference.
lot of discretionary spending, funding right here doesn't require a match all the time.
It doesn't.
Or you can use some of the discretionary funding from the FAA and use it against a state match. So it doesn't cost you anything.
So I heard your passion earlier about the people of Iberia Parish. I do not see that in this bill. It says seven members of whom all shall serve citizens of the United States. It doesn't say citizens of Iberia Parish can be on this board, just primarily, just citizens from this parish.
Right, and it's not 7, it's 6. That's a misprint.
Okay.
You know, so.
Well, I was gonna get to that next, but
Yeah,
you
no,
got
yeah,
it for me.
and honestly, whatever, there's a couple of misprints in there that have to be amended and corrected, you know?
Okay.
And the same thing which you just pointed out right here, being a member of Iberia Parish, could be included in it.
Yeah, that's one concern, if you
Yeah.
can make that a keynote when we're talking to Representative Boyer. The removal process, it says any member of the board may be removed for cause upon the recommendation of a majority of the board. That would be the new district board members, correct?
Correct.
So once we appoint, or let's hypothetically, whatever the process would be for us to appoint our 2 members, then at that point, if we feel that those 2 members are not meeting our expectations, those appointments are for 5 years and we cannot take them off of that board, correct? Right. So we've lost that power also. So not just appointing power, but now we've lost discretionary power of duties on the board, correct?
If that's the way it's written.
Okay, and then I had another thing, we currently right now, in order for y'all to have a quorum with your airport now, how many members you have to have present?
4.
4. It says in here, 3 members of the board present at a meeting shall constitute a quorum. A consensus of a majority of those present shall be required to pass the agenda item. How did we come up with that?
That was just verbiage that was put in there. I mean, that was some general verbiage from other bills,
Okay.
you creating the districts.
And Mr. Chairman,
You know,
let me order any time if y'all want to get to the agenda item. I just wanted to ask Chairman Norris this, just
No.
in case he had something
Any
planned.
questions you have, now's the time to ask.
Okay.
Yeah, and Warren, to be honest, whatever, all these things like this right here, that's things that can be amended and corrected. Part of the bill was just, legal, working with legal in Baton Rouge or whatever, that was just put together. And some of it was just copies of other districts that were created. Things like this can be amended.
So when it talks in line item 20, it says exercise exclusive responsibility to study and plan any improvements and expansions. Help me understand expansions. Is that expansions on a building or is that expansion of landmass within the district?
Well, it could be either or. I mean, if we, if you have.
That's
no,
my concern.
Well, no, but why is it a concern or whatever? But I'm
Well,
saying if we have an opportunity just to say right here to acquire additional property adjacent to the airport, then you're increasing the airport.
What the issue I have with that is Iberia Parish government's already making major investments for what's already coming at Progress Point. Some of that which may not be within that airport's district. Is that part of what you're trying to do, is to expand that district at some point? What I'm trying to get at is, my concern is I don't want another tax. If it's the plan of the commission to get another tax at this point, that should be far from our mind right now. Let me tell you, a property tax in this town, you're fixing to see it, the city's gonna do a renewal, and you're already hearing about it. We barely passed the library tax. So again, is it the plan of this commission or the new authority to put out a tax?
No, that's not the plan.
Because it has it in here.
Well, I mean, that's
It's stated
just-
in here a couple
well,
times that you have the power and authority
Right.
to do
It's
that.
part of the verbiage or whatever. Is that our plan right now? No. Our plan is to be able to be self-sufficient, which we are, but also have the ability to bond ourselves, which is actually better for the parish also.
And it also states the district shall submit an annual financial report disclosing all receipts and disbursements to the Iberia Parish Council within 120 days following the end of each calendar year. So I guess my question is this just a pass-through like the hospital service district? Whereas we basically acknowledging that there is an audit, there is
Correct.
everything provided to us?
Correct.
So at the end of the day, the discretion of a budgetary amendments are all gonna be within that authority, correct?
Correct.
So any
Right, because
mid-year
its own
changes-
entity.
Okay, and I guess the last thing I had was, I'm gonna read this and just kind of tell me what you think about it. Refrain from any action to sell, transfer, or otherwise encumber or dispose of airport facilities owned by a local government without the consent of the district, and if necessary, the FAA. Take all action responsible necessary to cure and defects the title to the airport facility transferred to the district. Explain that to me, Mr. Norris.
Okay. Well, for one thing, right here, we can't sell or transfer any property or whatever, because number one, it also requires FAA approval, because it is an FAA airport. So even for say, if you go make improvements over there, and let's just say the parish says, well, you know what, we want to sell this chunk of land off, or sell this improvement off for whatever reason or whatever, it's not something that can just be done. Not to say that it can't be done right here, but all that requires FAA approval.
Got you. Okay, and I guess my last thing is section 6 and 7 and page 6. You said that we would still retain ownership, correct? Iberia
Correct.
Parish government.
Correct.
It says here, assume ownership of all cash balances, investments relating to or resulting from operations of the airport of which operational jurisdiction has been transferred to the district. Then in line 7, it says assume ownership of all vehicles, office equipment, furniture and furnishings, and movable assets, including but not limited to computers, records and files, software licenses required to the financial management, personal management and accounting, inventory systems, and general administration.
Okay.
Help me understand that.
So basically what we're saying is everything that the airport has paid for or owns today, like all the equipment we have bought, the trucks, the tractors, the mowing equipment, anything that the airport owns today will be owned by the district.
Today, does the airport own that asset, or is Iberia Parish government own it?
Airport.
Sure about that?
Yeah, we pay for it, and it's titled the Airport Authority. Right?
And who owns the Iberia Parish Airport Authority? The airport? Iberia Parish government, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right, so the last two things I'll leave you with, Mr. Norris, and this is what gets tricky here. So if we go to the state constitution, 6.6, it says the homeroom charter or plan of government, action by the legislature prohibited. Section 6, the legislature shall enact no law, the effect of which damages, affects the structure and organization or the particular distribution or redistribution of the powers and functions of any local government subdivision which operates under a homeroom charter. Did you know that was in the Constitution?
No, sir.
So would you think this conflicts with the state's constitution?
I'd have to have legal tell me.
Section 6-15 is local governmental subdivisions. The governing authority of a local governmental subdivision shall have general power over any agency hereafter created by it, including without limitations the power to abolish the agency and require prior approval of any change or tax levied or bond issued by the agency. You understand that one?
No.
So
I'd have to read it.
There's some case law out there, and I'll wait till we get to the deal. I wanted to just ask you some questions, but there are some case laws where the state actually did something similar to this, and it was actually struck down by the state Supreme Court. And I'll say those two later. We'll get into that more depth. I just think we put the cart before the horse on this one, Mr. Norris, and I'm disappointed in the process how this was taken. Not to put blame on anybody in particularly, but how this was drawn and how it got to Baton Rouge, I'm very disappointed in that situation. I'm hoping that however this outcome is, that we have some better communications in the future. And you and I have worked on projects together. I believe you came to me when y'all wanted to build these hangars, and we didn't think we could get it passed, and we all worked together to get it. And I don't understand what changed from then to now. That's only my, and again, it was said that there were higher powers in Baton Rouge that wanted this. But it seems like this was created here in Iberia Parish in our backyard, and we didn't know anything about it. I mean, I think we have some minutes here that was provided by the clerk that said, I think at one point, you might have said that y'all were working on this about a year, but it was never said in one of your meetings. In the last year and a half, this meeting minutes right here.
We've had discussions, it's been a number of years, or whatever, just in general discussions.
Okay.
You know, we had senators and representatives come to us about 4 years ago in general discussion and encouraged us to do this. Didn't think it was right at the time. You know, it came up about a year ago in discussion right here, but when I say that being worked on for a year or so, whatever, we just started doing research.
Got it. I guess
And that was a lot of research we just did internally.
my final
reviewing
question to
everything, you know,
is the
but-
rumor
but-
that's going in the chamber is that the governor is pushing this and supporting this. Is that correct?
The governor is in support of it right here. He flies in and out of the airport a lot. He's aware of what's going on at the airport or whatever. Is he pushing it? I'm not gonna say he's pushing it. He didn't come to us or me as chairman or whatever and said, you know, you need to do this and you know, do it this kind of way like this or whatever. That did not happen.
And the board together as a body has asked Representative Boyer to author this bill, correct?
We've all had discussions.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I yield back. Thank you, Mr. Norris.
Sure, or whatever.
Mr. Gus is saying you is back. Next we have Mr. Michael Landry.
Just a question, Pat, and you know, I consider myself a friend of that airport because I think it's a diamond in the rough. Seriously. I'm kind of offended here because if you've been in for a whole year, you've been thinking about doing this. Have you spoken to anyone on this council? And if anyone has spoken to Pat or the board or Mo, tell me about what's going on tonight. Has anybody spoken to you? Because I don't think you'd be here if we didn't have this on the agenda tonight. I don't think you would have came and talked to us about it.
Well, Michael, that's incorrect right here because, you know, we planned on coming. And in fact, I was going to try to come here as an agenda item tonight or whatever, but we missed the deadline to be on the agenda.
I just think that you didn't even show us enough common courtesy, this board, to come and say, this is what we working on. I understand other councils shot it down. I'm kind of like Warren. I think this is something we could have worked on together. But y'all didn't have enough respect, whoever brought it up, to come here and say, look, this is what we would like to do. Let's work through it. That's my biggest problem with this. No one, other until I seen this on the agenda, and I've made some calls. I didn't call you, but I've made some calls, and I can't understand for the life of me why you couldn't come to me. You couldn't. Warren said it. I think you've got a working relationship with most of us. But nobody on this board knew that until over the last couple of weeks. And if anybody did, please tell me. Anybody.
For the reason that we didn't think that it would be able to move forward, because of things that, you know, being shot down in the past right here, and you know, over the last few years or whatever, there's been some friction between the airport commission and some council members, and let's just say Iberia Parish government as a whole. And when some of us are going to be told if we don't get in line, you know, that certain members are lobbying to have us removed from the commission because we're not following orders. And even more so, you know, right now being told by some right here, because of this right here, that there's a possible lobbying going on of the council to have us abolished, and the council's going to take it over. So, you know, when we've been told this in the past, you know, that kind of sticks you also. And the fear was going to be, you know, if we'd have come forward right here and proposed this with the opposition, then the fear could have been that something could have been passed that would have stopped us being able to file the bill.
And I understand what you're saying. Seriously speaking, I've never heard about just taking someone off. I don't know if we ever took anyone. I don't think this council has. We ever took anybody off. I think disagreements happen with everybody. But I've talked to you a lot. And I've tried to do anything I could for the airport, for anything we can, because I think it's good for the parish. I personally believe it's a great thing for the parish. And I see good things happening over there, and I think I see better things on the future. But it's just that you couldn't discuss it with no one. You brought it. And Representative Boyer, I wish he would have came in here tonight, because I would have asked him the same question, because this was just blindsided. I'm good, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Landry, you is back. Next we have Council Lady Brown.
Hey, Mr. Norris.
How you doing, ma'am?
I'm doing fine. I just have a question. With an airport district, if we move forward with an airport district, can it be privatized?
No.
It can or
No,
it cannot?
cannot. To my knowledge, whatever, I'm not 100% sure, but
Well-
I want to say no, because it's not private property.
So, I have your number. I'm going to share some information with you.
Okay,
But I yield back.
please.
Thank you.
All right, Councilwoman Lady Brown, you is back. I have just really one question for you, Mr. Norris. Everything you said about the airports in Chenault and getting more money and making this airport prosper, if this was to come into effect, do y'all have any kind of documentation, anything that y'all can prove to us that this is gonna happen, or it's just y'all think it's gonna happen?
Well, I mean, James, there's no guarantee of anything happening right here. You know, it's just a new process of moving the airport forward. Just based on what happens to all the other airports right here, and the statistics have been shown that when these airport districts are created and they use this business model, that it's always been beneficial to them. Every airport that we've talked to right here, you know, that follows under this method we're trying to do right here, has been a positive.
Is there any way, if we come to this conversation again on this matter, that y'all can maybe put something together for us showing with other airports?
I mean, we can
went
do
to
some
where
research and
we
try
we have
and
something in paper that we can see, look, this is what can happen, and this is what happened to them, and we could actually physically see and not just hearsay.
yeah,
Is
we
that
can
possible?
do the best we can to pull that information together.
Okay, all right, thank you. I yield back. Anybody else has any questions for Mr. Norris? All right, no more questions, Mr. Norris.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, next we have public comments. A, Madam Clerk.
Representative from Iberia Mental Health Initiative to address the council to announce May 2025 as Mental Health Month and Bayou Side Mental Health Run to be held on May 3rd, 2025.
All right, please state your name and your address, sir.
My address? Okay.
Yeah.
So Dean Wadney. My law office is at 108 Church Alley.
All right, thank you. Thank
New
you, sir.
Iberia. And this is, of course, my wife Catherine, Ashley and David Moe, Phyllis Babineau, and another member is Natalie Broussard. These are members of our Iberia Mental Health Initiative. After that, I would like to lighten the mood a little bit. It's a pleasure to be back here with you all. I always enjoy visiting with you all. But the reason for us coming, of course, this year is, 10 years ago, we started this little endeavor. And our mission was to raise awareness of mental health in the community. Since that time, I think we have, over that 10 years, we never would have thought we'd be here in the position we're in, but I think we've done a good job of raising mental health awareness in this parish. And I'd like to thank parish government, Larry, all the council members, and I guess I have to specifically mention a few members who have gone a little above and beyond the call of duty. I need to mention the lemonade stand. But Eileen, I'm not going to mention Warren, but Eileen is the driving force of the lemonade stand. And this year, they contributed a substantial amount of money to our Iberian Mental Health Initiative. We thank them for that. Mr. Gashasan and Mr. Trahan always graciously help us with supplying some food at the race. They always do a fantastic jambalaya. I give Warren credit, but it's Mr. Trahan that does the cooking.
Sure you get that straight, sir.
We all know who cooks. And Natalie, of course, is a member who's helped us out raise some sponsors this year. And I know Marcus isn't here, but he's out, but he's donated as well. And so we appreciate all the support that has come from this council. We appreciate the resolution every year that May is Mental Health Month. It's for 76 years that has been a national resolution that May is Mental Health Month. We haven't been doing it that many years here, but it's important, and it's important to raise the awareness of the mental health issues in all of our communities. One of the ways we've been meeting our mission is we've been doing programs to educate people about mental health. The other thing that we've done to raise awareness is our Bayou Side Run that Natalie mentioned earlier. Since that was several minutes ago, I'll mention it again. It was the race is May 3rd. So after you recycle, come on over to the race and run or walk or just come and support the others that are there. This has raised awareness in our community. We had over 400 people run last year. They run to race. They run in support of other people who are suffering due to some mental illness in their family. We've had groups of up to 80 run in support of each other, and that's one of the neat things about this race is it's a support for those who are in need. And, so the play on words, Bayou Side Run. So we have someone Bayou Side, and we're showing support for those people. One of the other projects, Catherine's going to introduce and talk about what we've been doing to raise awareness in our elementary schools.
And our most recent project is called Buddy Benches, which we are putting at elementary school campuses in Iberia Parish. And we have had generous donations from individuals in the community toward these Buddy Benches. And one of our members, Ashley Moe, is a librarian and an educator at Highland Baptist. And she can tell you a little bit about what good the Buddy Benches are doing for our students.
As Catherine said, I am Ashley Moe, and I have been an educator for 34 years, elementary and library, and soon to be master and specialist of youth programming soon. I have became a member of the Iberia Mental Health Initiative back in 2019, 2020, right when COVID was going on. And we started doing some Zoom meetings and things like that. Through this organization, I have seen in elementary schools particular, because that's where I am, the growth with the Buddy Benches. Our students are now utilizing these Buddy Benches at their recess time. The purpose of the Buddy Bench is to help these students who are feeling lonely, feeling upset, may not have those verbal skills to say, I need some help. So they can sit on this bench. And our other students, as well as teachers and counselors at school, we can see these students on the benches. we can assist them and help them. So we are breaking down this stigma of mental illness. And this is the whole purpose of By You Side, being by your side. When we start this with elementary, with our students, our young ones, by the time they get older, it's not going to be this stigma like it has been in the past. So I personally just want to say thank you. Thank you for your support that you've given us. And I'm just asking for your continued support as we continue to put these benches in the elementary schools and, later on more. But in addition to the benches, we are providing schools with the book in the libraries to discuss what it is. So our students and teachers and the educators in public and private, we are working with teaching this to our students, and it's all because of the initiative. So thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
I just want to say one more thing. I think what we're beginning to learn is that adults have, with proper treatment, can be good members of society. We want people to know that there's help out there and there is hope. The other thing I think that we all need to be aware of is what our children are facing, particularly with social media and bullying and things that go on there. Words matter, and I think words can be helpful, words can be harmful. So I think we need to keep that in mind, and that's something the initiative I think will be looking at in the future, and we need to all carry that memory with us. Thank you very much.
Mr. Watney, I think we have a few questions
Yes.
or comments. First of all, I want to say thank y'all and your board and all your members for what y'all do. I think it's a great thing y'all doing. So people don't realize, I think, how broad mental health can be. Some people just think it's just a few select people that you can look at and see, but it's really not. I think it's a statistic that a lot of people that's in the prison system and in jail, it starts off with a mental health issue. So what y'all doing with the young and the younger generation, if you can catch it early enough, you might be able to save those young people from ending up in that prison system, in that jail system. So I really want to thank y'all
Yeah.
for
You
making
know,
that aware for the younger
we used
generation.
to think that people with mental illness were these people in crisis, but there's more to it than that. Like you say, there's depression, anxiety, and lesser forms. That still we need to think of mental health like we think about our physical health. Thank you.
We have a question from Council Lady Brown.
So I want to just commend you guys on the work that you're doing and bringing awareness to mental health. It's very dear to my heart. I lost a brother to suicide, and I will say statistically, a black male was one that never really fit the demographics of suicide. And so I want to say that mental health is not just for, it doesn't have any demographics. You can be rich, poor, you can be living your best life. Depression hides in folks that you least expect. And a prime example is the Kyron Lacey guy, the LSU star who committed suicide. And I think that raised a lot of attention. And I think now more than ever, people are kind of getting to the point where they're addressing their mental health issues. Because just being on social media, when I scroll at times, I see people talking about their depression and just what they go through. And I, for one, I dealt with depression after I lost my brother. You know what I'm saying? And grief is a form of depression as well. And so I think it's very important that you guys are doing this initiative. Any way I can support, I will. And I just want to thank you guys for all of the work that you're doing in the community.
Thank you.
Right. Lady Brown, you was back. I think we have one from the parish president.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, at this time, you can read a proclamation, and after that, I would like to take a picture with you guys in the front. Mr. Chairman, if you would like, we'd like you in that picture as well.
Proclamation, Mental Health Month, May 2025. Whereas surroundings can impact if, how, and when a person's needs are met, which in turn affects mental health. And whereas having safe, stable, and healthy home conditions set the foundation for achieving and maintaining good mental health. And whereas with early and effective interventions, those individuals with mental health conditions can recover and lead full, productive lives. And whereas each business, school, government agency, healthcare provider, organization, and citizen shares the burden of mental health problems and has a responsibility to promote mental wellness and support prevention efforts. Therefore, I, M. Larry Richard, do hereby proclaim May 2025 as Mental Health Month in Iberia Parish. As the parish president, I also call upon citizens, government agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, and schools in Iberia Parish to recommit our community to increasing awareness and understanding of mental health, the steps our citizens can take to protect their mental health, and the need for appropriate and accessible services for all people with mental health conditions. This 23rd day of April 2025, M. Larry Richard, Parish President. Thank you.
Thank you, Bo. Let's go up and
They can edit it too.
Come in loud, B. Keep it down a little bit, B.
All right, next we have on the public comments number 2, Madam Clerk.
Persons being considered for appointment to parish boards and commissions to address the council.
Right, we have Mr. Richard Howell II to speak for the Council on Spanish Lake Gaming Commission appointment. Please give your name and address, sir.
My name is Richard James Howell II, better known to most as Buddy. I live at 1919 North Captain Cade Road, New Iberia, Louisiana. I just want to thank the council for having me today. I'm here representing myself as an appointee or a potential appointee to the commission for the Spanish Lake Game and Fish Commission. Historically, I've been a lifelong resident of Iberia Parish, avid outdoorsman. I have a young family that is looking to have places to go, enjoy the outdoors, all these things. My mother was born and raised on Spanish Lake. My grandfather ran a small business. They had RVs, campsites, all these things on the lake. So I have a deep passion for the lake, the surrounding area. Like Councilman Landry said about the airport, I believe the lake is a diamond in the rough, provides an outlet for many, probably a good place for mental health, like these folks that just came by said. On my paternal side, my grandmother was a Segura. Many of y'all know Segura, Louisiana, the surrounding area of the lake was founded by that family. So again, I have deep ties to the lake. And I just ask for your consideration for appointment for the board.
All right, any questions for Mr. Howell? Seeing none, thank you, Mr. Howell.
Thank y'all.
Right, I need a motion to go back into regular session. I have a motion by Councilman Warren Goshenson, and second by Scott Ronsonet. Please vote your machines to go back into regular session. Mr. Landry, Michael Landry? All right. We're now back into regular session. We have community events and public service announcements. There's none. Reports, finance, and administration action. Item number 1, Madam Clerk.
Balance sheets for January and February 2025 on request.
Item number 2, Madam Clerk.
Budget reports for January and February 2025 on request.
Next, we go to reports, parish or other governmental agencies. Item number 1, Madam Clerk.
Monthly permit report for the month of March 2025.
All right, should have been in your packet. Item number 2, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Mike Tarantino to provide an update on professional economic services provided to the parish, all as authorized by resolution number 2021-27.1.
Welcome, Mr. Tarantino. Please state your name and title, sir.
Mike Tarantino, President and CEO of the Iberia Industrial Development Foundation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me tonight. I always appreciate the opportunity to address you and to talk a little bit about what's going on in the parish and some statistics you may be interested in. So I'll just start right at the top. Iberia Parish monthly retail sales for this month, 100 right under 140 million, 139,744,000. For March, that was down a little bit from February at 141 million, and down from this time last year, a little down from this time last year. However, sales tax collections, according to our sources, were down this month, but they were up 7% for the quarter. So things are still continue to be very strong for retail sales. I can remember when 139 million broke a record. So we continue to stay strong with retail sales across the parish. And again, this is just another indication of folks shopping Iberia Parish first. Not only from Iberia Parish, but from surrounding communities. It's beginning to turn a lot of heads, and you'll be hearing soon about other retail establishments and investors that are significantly interested in our area, and these numbers matter. So I encourage the folks to continue to shop Iberia Parish first. Iberia Parish's unemployment rate. February 2025 is the last confirmed numbers that we have that have been published. 4.5% unemployment currently, down from both January and from February of last year. It's continuing to stay in that zone of between 4 and 6%, which is very healthy across the board. I want to encourage folks who may still be looking for work to go to our Facebook page, Iberia Industrial Development Foundation. We post job opportunity alerts on a regular basis. There are many jobs that are available out there right now. I encourage folks to jump into the workforce now. A lot of great businesses, existing businesses, and new businesses that'll be looking for folks as well. But Iberia Parish's monthly unemployment rate remains strong. Acadiana Regional Airport monthly operations, 3,222 were the last numbers we got for March of 2025. That's up from February, down from a little bit last year. Mr. Sanji reported in a recent meeting that things are continuing to look good, and you can tell over the last 4 months they're beginning to increase. We've got a lot of great operations at Acadiana Regional Airport. It continues to be busy. Freeman Jet Center has now opened their fixed-base operator business, and that's going to continue to attract new business there. So the airport's doing really well with operations. Did very well last year and continues to be on a good trend this year as well. Louisiana monthly natural gas prices. February of 2025 was the last number we have posted here over our 13-month track, $4.26 per unit. Up a little bit from January and up significantly from February. Today's spot price was right at about $3 per unit. So I would take out those last two high bars just as outliers, but even if you take those out, Louisiana's monthly natural gas prices continue to remain strong, and that certainly bodes well for natural gas jobs in our state. Louisiana monthly drilling permits, however, are on a different scale. You can see they're all over the board. Very unsettled right now. I can remember when those numbers that you see on the right were in the hundreds. We certainly hope to see that improve, though. I know there's been a lot of focus on that in Baton Rouge and a lot of focus on local businesses to see those numbers improve, and we certainly hope they do over time. Louisiana monthly crude oil prices, the last number we have up on the board there, $74.53 a barrel, down a little bit over time. The last spot was even further down at $62.34, and we certainly want to see that improve over time, so stay tuned. And monthly rig counts, Louisiana monthly rig counts, as you could tell before from the drilling permits, that's the leading indicator. The monthly rig counts are the lagging indicator, and you can see, without even looking at the numbers, you can kind of see the trend. It's been up a little bit, but then significantly down over time, and we certainly want to see that improve over time. We think it will. The federal government's putting a lot of policies in place which will certainly help that. There have been some LNG plants that have been permitted in South Louisiana in the Lake Charles area, which I think will definitely help as well. So we're optimistic, but we certainly like to see those numbers improve over time. Before I finish the report, I just want to let folks know that the Iberia Mental Health Initiative is certainly a wonderful cause. We host, just in case you didn't know, we host a podcast. It's called The Mic Drop, and it's available on both Spotify and Podbean. We encourage folks to check it out. It's a community-based podcast, and the Iberia Mental Health Initiative was featured in our latest episode, and we encourage folks to go and check that out and learn more details. If you've got the date or time or anything for the Bayou Side 5K, I encourage you to go listen to that, and we'll repeat it all over again. But I'm happy to open it up to any questions or comments that you might have.
All right, any questions from Mr. Tarantino? I have one by Councilman Scott Rossonnet.
Yes, sir.
When you bring the sales tax graph next time, could you stretch it out 24 months and more or less go with a trend instead of just a bar graph? And the reason I say that is we're going to start making decisions right here on roads.
Yes, sir.
How much money we're going to spend. And we need to keep that in mind big time because we're going to start projecting out. We're going to go out 5, 6, 7 years here pretty soon. So it would give us a good idea of where we're trending. Because right when you threw that up, the first thing I thought of, and this is not good, credit card delinquencies are up to like 8, 9%.
Yes, sir.
That's exactly what you're seeing right here is people are saying, well, wait, let me pull back. So we need to know this going forward. If people are getting tapped out,
Right.
well, it's nothing against Iberia Parish. It just it's across the country. It's tapped out. It is what it is. You know?
Okay.
So we have to keep that in mind. I'm just looking for a trend.
Yes, sir.
24 months. Good idea. And it'll tell us where we're headed.
Yes, sir. We'll get to work on that for you. As long as I can find a stable source to get that, I'll be happy to get that to you. Anything you'd like, and if there are other graphs that you'd like to see going forward, we can certainly do that. One that I reported last quarter, it's not in this slide deck, but it will be next. We also have begun to include 2 slides about sugar prices and their tremendous impact positively on our state and on our parish. Those are annual numbers. We expect to get those sugarcane crop numbers out next month, and so that'll be in the next slide deck for you as well. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman.
All right. Councilman Rossonnet, you is back. Any other questions? Seeing none. Thank you, Mr. Tarantino.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you, Mike.
Next, we'll go on to public work reports. Number 1, Madam Clerk.
Public Works Department report for closed work orders dated March 26, 2025 through April 8th, 2025.
Those are emailed to you. Next, we have special business. There's none. We'll go on to consent agenda items for public hearing and adoption. We have the minutes. All right, Madam Clerk.
Correction to regular meeting minutes of March 12th, 2025. Resolution number 2025-49. Regular meeting of April 9th, 2025.
All right, we have summary number 77, introduced by Parish President. Madam Clerk.
A resolution proclaiming the month of May 2025 as Mental Health Awareness Month in Iberia Parish.
Summary number 78, introduced by Clerk of the Council. Madam Clerk.
A resolution proclaiming the week of May 4th through 9th, 2025 as National Travel and Tourism Week in Iberia Parish.
Summary number 79, introduced by Parish President. Madam Clerk.
A resolution proclaiming the month of May 2025 as Building Safety Month in Iberia Parish.
Summary number 80, introduced by Parish President. Madam Clerk.
A resolution providing for canvassing the returns and declaring the results of the special election held in the Parish of Iberia, State of Louisiana, on Saturday, March 29th, 2025, to authorize the continuation of the special sales tax therein.
Summary number 81, introduced by Parish President. Madam Clerk.
A resolution authorizing the parish president to execute an intergovernmental agreement between the State of Louisiana through the Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority and Iberia Parish government regarding construction of the Rutten Reel Road Water Control Structure Project, TV 0094, to provide the effective date thereof and to otherwise provide with respect thereto.
Summary number 82, introduced by Parish President. Madam Clerk.
A resolution authorizing the parish president to execute an intergovernmental agreement between the State of Louisiana through the Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority, CPRA, and Iberia Parish government regarding construction of the Stumpy Bayou Water Control Structure Project TV 0095 to provide for the effective date thereof and otherwise provide with respect thereto.
Summary number 83, introduced by Parish President. Madam Clerk.
A resolution authorizing the parish president to execute a cooperative endeavor agreement between Iberia Parish government and 16th Judicial District Attorney's Office to provide for opioid settlement funding for approved purposes in the Family Services Division, to provide for the effective date thereof, and to otherwise provide with respect thereto.
Summary number 84, introduced by Parish President. Madam Clerk.
A resolution authorizing the parish president to execute a cooperative endeavor agreement between the Iberia Parish government and the 16th Judicial District Court judges to provide for opioid settlement funding for approved purposes in Iberia Parish Adult Drug Court Program, to provide for effective date thereof, and otherwise provide with respect thereto.
Summary number 85, introduced by Parish President. Madam Clerk.
A resolution authorizing the parish president to execute a cooperative endeavor agreement between the Iberia Parish government and 16th JDC Attorney's Office in connection with the $325,000 in opioid-related expenses already appropriated in the 2025 opioid fund budget for the years of 2022, 2023, and 2024, to provide for effective date thereof and to otherwise provide with respect thereto.
Summary number 86, introduced by Lloyd Brown, District 4. Madam Clerk.
A resolution opposing House Bill number 613 of the 2025 legislative session, which would create the Acadiana Regional Airport of Lemaire and the Lemaire Memorial Airport District, provide for powers, duties, functions, and governance of the district, provide for the composition, the tenure of the Board of Commissions, officers' domicile, and authority, provide local government compliance, and for related matters.
Summary number 87, introduced by James P. Trahant, District 8. Madam Clerk.
A resolution authorizing Adams and Reese LLP as the official federal lobbyist to promote Iberia Parish government and its agencies, boards, and commissions for the period of February 1st, 2025 through February 1st, 2026, and to authorize Parish President M. Larry Richard to execute any and all documents relating to said services.
All right, at this time, would anyone like to remove any consent agenda items? See, we have Mr. Brown.
I would like to remove number 86.
And what reason, sir? You would like to remove it?
I'd like to remove it to see, for any other discussion.
Okay.
Before I make my motion.
Yes, sir. Next, we have Ms. Natalie Broussard.
Yes, I would like to remove number 87 for discussion purposes.
All right. And we have Councilman Warren Gusherson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to remove summary number 80 for clarification of the language as recommended by our legal counsel.
All right. Anyone else? All right. Seeing no other ones, we'll be voting on consent agenda items minus 86, 87, and 80. Please vote your machines. That motion carries. Now we'll go on to summary number 80, introduced by Parish President. Madam Clerk.
It's number 80. A resolution providing for canvassing the returns and declaring the results of the special election held in the Parish of Iberia, State of Louisiana, on Saturday, March 29th, 2025, to authorize the continuation of a special tax therein.
Right, I need a motion. I have a motion by Councilman Warren Gusherson. I need a second. Have a second by Councilman Michael Landry. Councilman Gusherson.
Mr. Chairman, again, by request of legal counsel, just to read the verbiage in highlighted areas, library millage continuation, 4.50 mills on all the property subject to taxation in the parish for a period of 10 years. There was a total of 4,480 votes cast in favor of the proposition and a total of 4,392 votes cast against the proposition, resulting in a majority of 88 votes cast in favor of the proposition. The proposition was therefore duly carried by a majority of the votes cast by the qualified electors voting at the election. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
All right, Gusherson yields back. Mr. Landry?
I waive.
Mr. Landry waives. Any further discussion?
I would.
Please vote your machines. Oh. All right.
I would just like to thank the people of Iberia Parish for recognizing the importance of the libraries here in Iberia Parish. It was a very close race, but for the next 10 years, look like they're going to have some funding to do some work over there and give the people that need access to libraries access to the libraries. So thank you to everyone in Iberia Parish. That's it, sir.
All right. Mr. Michael Landry? You yield back, Mike? Okay, all right. No further discussion? Please vote. Please vote your machines for final adoption. And that motion carries. Summary number 86, introduced by Lloyd Brown, District 4, Madam Clerk.
A resolution opposing House Bill number 613 of the 2025 legislative session, which would create the Acadiana Regional Airport and the Lemaire Memorial Airport District, provide for powers, duties, functions, and governance of the district, provide for the composition and tenure of the Board of Commissions, officers, domicile, and authority, provide local government compliance for related matters.
All right, I need a motion. I have a motion by Mr. Brown. I need a second. Have a second by Michael Landry. Mr. Brown?
Yeah, I would like to present this as submitted, and I'm asking for 100% vote on this.
All right. You yield back now, Mr. Brown?
Yeah,
Mr. Brown yields back. We have Mr. Michael Landry.
I waive.
Mr. Landry waives. Next, we have Councilman Warren Gusherson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to submit into the record, there's two court cases that deal specifically what we're going with. It's the City of New Orleans versus the State of Louisiana. Just to read out one of them, and Section 2 of it, the statute was created as a political subdivision of the state when a new commission for park owned by the city was unconstitutionally taken of the city's property without just compensation. The city was entitled to injunctive relief and against the irreparable injury which would cause by the unconstitutional taking of its property. The reason I read that part is I plan to come in the next couple of weeks, if the state is gonna move forward with this, to have an injunction filed, or at least give the authority to the parish president some money to go out and adjust what the airport is worth. If they're gonna take it, they need to pay for it. So, I mean, that's one of the things I'd like to do at this point in time. Mr. Chairman, also, I'd like to put into the record another court case, Lafourche Parish Council versus the mayor of Town of Gold Meadow. And basically what came out of that was, again, this is the big stick out, which what I read earlier, was Constitution allows the home rule charter of local governments exclusive control over the operation, management, internal arrangement of the component parts of its local government, and any deficiencies in the provision of a charter adopted pursuant to a home rule provision would not create redemptual right in the legislature to enact legislation in the area. So basically, another one we're saying here, put that into the record, is that another court ruling gave the local municipal government was right and just in accordance with the Constitution. It was unconstitutional for them to do that. Also, I'd like to put in the Attorney General's opinion from 2018, which currently our governor was the Attorney General at this time. And in that bold print, it's highlighted. It says, our Constitution further prohibits the legislature from enacting any law that changes or affects the structure and organization or the particular distribution or redistribution of the powers and functions of any local government subdivision which operates under the Home Rule Charter, and it refers back to that opinion that I just gave you. Mr. Chairman, at this time, if I can, we did hear from Chairman Pat Norris. I do know that other members are here. If they would like to present anything that wasn't said tonight, this would be the opportunity without objection, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, without objection.
Anybody from the board?
Please state your name and address, sir.
Sure. My name is Bart Broussard. I'm 3312 Ogenerette Road, New Iberia. Been on the commission about 7 years now. Really enjoyed being over there. We're really doing a good job of trying to get the airport from the diamond in the rough to where it is now. Yeah, we got some more homework to do. We got more things to work out. Feel like with the ports operating, the hospitals operating, other airports are operating, this would be a benefit to the airport, in the long run, the parish, to take it to the next level and let it form its own district. But yeah, there's a lot more homework to be done, a lot more conversations to be had. We were trying to hit some deadlines and some windows, so maybe we rushed it on our part. So we had to clean that up, come back and say, all right, here's the big game plan, here's the details, and get input and go from there. So, but I am for it. I think it'll benefit the airport, and we've got a lot of good momentum going right now. I'd like to keep building on it.
Mr. Broussard, I have a question for you. Would you be in support of amendment to that bill if it does move forward, of putting back the appointing power strictly to Iberia Parish government?
Yeah, we definitely want to look at that and say, yeah, if that's best for the parish, that's great. We just want representation from all. I mean, if it's the parish, meaning the cities, the parish that own it, or should be operating it, they should be making those decisions. I'd have no problem looking at that.
Thank you, Mr. Broussard.
Yep.
Appreciate you.
I have more questions. I don't know if it's for Mr. Broussard.
I'll yield back, Mr.
Okay,
Chairman, give
yield
everybody
back.
an opportunity.
Mr. Councilman Rossini?
Just so everybody knows, I know you touched on who called who or not. This got thrown in my lap 10, 12 days ago also, okay? And then I volunteered to come over here, and it's not a question for you specifically. And I sat in this room, in this chair, I'm gonna say 7 days ago, I think it was exact. And I got new information, didn't have a clue, and here I am now, I got more information now. So I'm totally confused, but I'm fixing to come to you, legal. It looks like Mr. Garcia did do some homework, obviously. Do you know if this goes against the Constitution? And now, we're not voting to say yes or no, I get that, but say it would pass.
Right, so I've only done some preliminary research, but there's a case back in 1984 in New Orleans concerning their airport where the state legislature tried to change the composition, basically how the members were selected. And the Supreme Court at that point in time cited the same constitutional provision, Article 6, Section 6. And there's many more examples. There's different types of districts that were attempted to be created. Like I said, I'm in my preliminary research stage, but if this were to proceed, we would have, it appears, a cause of action to oppose it if Iberia Parish government did not consent to it.
Okay, so here we go with we're talking about the people's money. If this goes forward, then we possibly got a lawsuit now. Now we've cost more money in litigation, not only from your expense, but we'll probably have to throw more money at this possibly. And I'm just going to we're all talking about spending money for the parish, and here we are. This is new to me, so I walked in with more questions now. So, you talk about let's push it forward and then we'll make all these amendments. But from what I understood from the meeting last week, we have no decision once it goes through. So now we got another problem. I don't know, I'm stuck on this one, to be honest. But I just wanted everybody to know where I got my information from and when I got it, which is today, 7 days, 10 days. So, that is really upsetting. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, Mr. Rossini yields back. Next we have Councilman Dustin Swear.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So yeah, look, I'm taking in all of this information just like Scott is, just like everyone else is. There's a lot of good points that are being thrown around by everyone in the room, not just one in particular. My question would be for, I guess maybe legal or administration, why was this not presented in maybe committee and it went straight to, full council?
Sure.
You might ask that to the chairman.
Is that?
Yeah. No, I can answer that. So we have in our code of ordinances, we have a list of things that can go straight to council and bypass committee, and one of those things is whenever you're expressing an opinion. So this is essentially, you guys, if you pass it one way or the other, say this is at this time when we came together, this was our opinion. It's similar to sending condolences to her family or congratulations. Like, this does not at this stage have a binding effect. It's not written up like that. This is, you know, at the stage of just saying, this is the council's position on this. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but so let's see. So in order to, if this were to move forward, if Mr. Brown's resolution were to move forward, there's basically no. I'm more look. I still have a lot of questions as a whole when it comes to this whole ordeal that's going down, and I'm not in favor of opposing it right off the bat. I think we need to do some more research. Mr. Dotson has a ton of research right here in front of him that he's been presenting to us. And I think the discussions need to be had. So I'm more leaning, in my opinion, if we have to defer it, I think that's what I would lean more towards than just killing it or opposing it right off the bat. And that's basically my opinion. That's what I have to say about it. So thank you.
Right, you back, Mr. Swear?
Yeah, I'm good.
Next we have Councilman Michael Landry.
Well, one of the things, Dustin, this is a House bill now, so if we defer it, there's no way that we know if they're gonna vote on it before it comes back here. One of the things why I opposed the bill, I think if they would've came to us, we might've could've worked something out. I'm not saying I would've voted for it or against it, but we at least could've had some discussion. I think it was done kind of like they just, and I think Pat said it, because people are scared. How many people on that board we haven't reappointed? Not very many, if any, that I could remember. If any, huh?
One since I've been here.
Yeah, so, I mean, so that's something, we can have some disagreements about what goes on, but they could have came and they could have spoke to us. I'm serious. You don't have to kiss my ring. You just have to tell me what's going on and we can discuss it. That's why I oppose the bill. I'm good, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Landry, you is back. Next we have Councilman Brock Pellerin.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, I'm kind of with Dustin. I don't want to vote to oppose it. I think we can all agree that the way this took place was not the right way. I think it could have been handled a different way. Scott, I did have a meeting with Mr. Norris. I did have a meeting with Representative Boyer. I did make phone calls to several commission members once I found out about it to start gathering information. I did not gather as much information as Mr. Gotcha did, but I did get information from several people. All the commission members I've spoken to were highly supportive of this. I would like to see, I was told that if we do defer this to the 14th meeting to give us a little bit more time to decide, they would still have time to file the bill on the 14th if we, reconsider or oppose whatever we decide to do. So I would be in favor of deferring it to the May 14th meeting just to see if we can gather a little bit more information. I mean, I know I'm not the only one, but I still got a bunch of questions on it before I can say I oppose the bill altogether. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Pellerin, you is back. Next we have Councilman Warren Gusherson.
Mr. Chairman, just to put more in the record, and the only reason I'm doing this, I know we don't do this often, but it gives you the opportunity, if you wanted to see the paperwork and the facts, don't just hear from me. You can request of the clerk and she can do that. Also, I wanted to just give a little more information as far as the digest at Baton Rouge International. Back in 2017 regular session, they actually proposed a law to expand the present law that gives a provision to apply for the mayor president's position where they actually make appointments. So I'd like to put that in the record. Also, the Houma Terrebonne digest that actually has that. The Lafayette Regional Airport, where you can see it actually makes all of the members up, as I said earlier, between consolidated government, Chenault International, same thing, and then also putting into record the two pieces of the Constitution that specifically applies to our Section 7 and 7-8 of our home rule charter. I'm sure we all know that. You don't want me to read that into the record, do you? No. I'll put that into the official record also. Mr. Chairman, you're absolutely right, Brock, Dustin. I agree with you completely. But this is no further than when we debate things in this committee. if you've seen, we always talk about what the legislature's doing. What did the legislature do for us? They put that camera there in committees and all of these official sunshine law meetings because they want the public to be more aware of what our governing bodies are doing. There's no exception for the airport or Parks and Rec or anything. A lot of what we have, they want us to debate it here because it's the taxpayers at the end of the day. I'm sorry? Absolutely, I agree with you. And nothing against Mr. Norris or any of those commission members. I mean, a lot of us, we have trust in them. How many meetings have I been to y'all since you've been on the board, Mr. Norris? Maybe one or two of yours? That shows I've got trust in what y'all doing there. I just don't like how this was done. This is the problem I have. And let me tell you, a lot of the people, if they knew, if the average Joe would pay attention to this, they would agree with us. That these type of transfers or amendments to our structure of government needs to be done here so that people like Mr. Viator, Mr. Thibodeau, Mr. Dayries, they have an opportunity to come be a part of the process. Now, some people can't make it to Baton Rouge. So that's why we have local governments that touch people. People have opportunities to come here. So again, it's not me versus Mr. Norris. It's the people of the parish should have every opportunity to know what's going on with the airport and where we're going from here. There should be no secrets. I know it was said that higher ups or somebody from Baton Rouge said they shouldn't have got out, but I mean, I disagree with that. A lot of what we bring here is of controversy that gets out, and it's if the people like it or they decide not to like it, but at least we brought something forward. Right. So again, my vote today is not against any board member. Let me say that again before it rings in the chamber tomorrow, a little coffee meetings are gonna happen and gonna digest this. This is just to do what I was elected to do in front of everybody that elected me to do it. And that's how I stand today. So I do support your amendment, Mr. Brown, to ask Baton Rouge to worry about our teachers and worry about our insurances and let us handle our airport, Mr. Brown. Are you back?
Mr. Gusher you is back. Next we have Councilwoman Natalie Broussard.
Yeah, I think the one thing that is clear is that several council members have expressed not having enough information to make a decision, but yet we're being asked to make a decision tonight. And I don't think it's fair that we're asked to make a decision when we don't have enough information to make the decision. It has been requested that this be deferred to our next meeting. I understand that it's not this council's fault that we don't have enough information to make a decision tonight, but it's where we are. I don't think I disagree with anybody that we shouldn't be in the position that we're in, but we are. And I understand everybody's frustration of not knowing about it ahead of time, the way it was handled. I understand I think Mr. Landry said he was offended. I get it. But at the same time, we were not elected to make decisions based on our feelings. And when we're offended or when our feelings are hurt, we were elected to get educated and get informed and make the best decisions for the parish. And for us to take a vote tonight based on being offended and not liking the way this was handled, I think is the wrong position to take. I think we need to take a step back and make a decision based on the merits of the bill and whether or not converting the airport commission to a district is what's in the best interest of Iberia Parish, or if it's not in the best interest of Iberia Parish. I personally don't know that I've received enough information to make that decision. Many council members that I've talked to I think they feel the same way. I was at the same meeting with Mr. Boyer that Mr. Pellerin was at. Mr. Boyer has committed to not moving the bill forward until we have the meeting on May 14th. I think that was even relayed to Mr. Richard. I think that I trust Mr. Boyer if he said if we defer it to the 14th that he's not going to move the bill through. And I think we should take the time to make a decision and take 2 weeks to get informed and make sure that we're not opposing something that's good for the parish or not supporting something that may be good for the parish, or if we are opposing it, if it's not good for the parish, make sure we are opposing it. So I stand with the others asking for it to be deferred, and after discussion is complete, offer a substitute motion to defer it to May 14th.
Yield back.
I yield back.
Ms. Broussard yields back. Next we have Councilman Warren Gotchison.
Mr. Chairman, I do see what Ms. Broussard is saying, and I'm trying to understand it. There's a bill here. So the information's in the bill. So you are giving everybody an opportunity to ask questions on the bill tonight, right?
Yes, sir.
From Mr. Norris? Okay, so just to put in case Ms. Broussard wasn't able to read the bill, can you put that into the record? That's the official bill that was written in Baton Rouge. So the facts are there. I mean, it's in the bill. You have every opportunity to ask those questions tonight. These gentlemen have read the bill. They can answer those questions that you have. I mean, I'm not understanding where we're not getting enough information. And I did hear about the meeting. I was kind of disappointed I wasn't invited, but I'm not shocked. But at the end of the day, I just, again, there's a bill there. The facts are in the bill. I don't know what else we're missing, but Mr. Chairman, I'll yield back.
All right, Mr. Gotchison yields back. Ms. Natalie Broussard.
Yeah, I mean, this stack of information, you just provided a whole stack of information that none of us got before tonight. That I'd like an
I looked it up on my own.
opportunity
You could've did the
to review it. You know, I think there's a lot of information that we all need to review. You brought up some very good points that I think needs to be explored. Legal has already said they're in their preliminary investigation in it. I think it's premature to make a decision. I yield.
All right, Ms. Broussard yields back. Any further discussion?
Tell us when we vote.
All right, Ms. Natalie Broussard.
If there's no further discussion on the main motion, I'd offer a substitute motion to defer it to the May 14th meeting.
All right, I need a second. I have a second by Dustin Swear. I have discussion by Councilman Gotchison.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, just to ask Councilwoman Broussard, what do we change deferring it? Is there a meeting going to happen? I mean, or are we going to be told about what's the next steps here? What is the point of deferment? I'm asking.
It's my understanding that Mr. Bodier is willing to meet with the council members. All of these concerns about it, I mean, they're open to amendments to negotiate, to see. I think we need to find out if the state can really do it. I mean, if we bring this to the attention, Mr. Bodier may pay the bill. I mean, I think I would rather give those opportunities to play out than for us to come in and vote to oppose some legislation at this point.
So, Representative Boyer has already told you he's going to have a meeting, so kind of like the meeting we had before. Will all members be present there?
Well, then we would have to have a public meeting. I
Well,
mean,
that's where I was
we
getting
can
at. I mean,
absolutely.
Can we come back at the next meeting and maybe toss back and forth what our concerns are? Have you had that
I
conversation with?
absolutely think that's appropriate, but I mean, I think there's a lot of discussions that can be had to determine what needs to be addressed at the meeting on the 14th.
Just trying to see where the end route was. And if you can, talking to Mr. Norris or Mr. Bouye, is asking, what is the end route for the bill? What are we trying to accomplish other than just creating the district? What is the big picture? That's the hard part for me to put together, but thank you for clarifying. Are you back, Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Gotchison yields back.
That's it.
All right, no further discussion. We'll take a vote on deferment. Everybody vote your machines. And that motion fails. Now back to the main motion.
Ready?
Like there's no further discussion. Please vote your machines on the main motion. And that motion carries.
All right, good enough. Thank y'all.
Summary number 87, introduced by James P. Tron, District 8, Madam Clerk.
Okay.
A resolution authorizing Adams and Reese LLP as the official federal lobbyist to promote Iberia Parish government and its agencies, boards, and commissions for the period of February 1st, 2025 through February 1st, 2026, and to authorize Parish President M. Larry Richard to execute any and all documents relating to said services.
All right, I have a motion, need a motion by Councilman Warren Gossison, I need a second.
You don't have a second?
Have a second by Scott Rossini. Councilman Gossison.
Mr. Chairman, after discussion, I'd like to make a motion to amend.
All right.
It seems, you okay with this?
Yes,
Oh, you can leave it. You good with the second motion to
second,
amend?
you good?
I'd like to amend the language after commissions to include unless otherwise authorized by Iberia Parish Council, and then so on. You need me to repeat it? Go back to this one here. It's just after and commissions unless otherwise authorized by Iberia Parish Council for the period of February 1st, 2025 through February 1st, 2026. Which I know is written retroactive. I don't know if we can do that or not, but it's on there. So that's the motion to amend. Is that okay with the second? Mr. Rossini? Good, thank you.
Mr. Rossini,
I'll waive.
wave back. We have Ms. Natalie Broussard.
I guess I have a question, starting off with legal. Is this something that needs the council authorization for that contract to be entered into?
No. So there was money budgeted for it under professional services. This is specifying that it's going to be for Iberia Parish government and the agencies and boards and commissions unless otherwise authorized. So, and also a specific time period, so it's not just open-ended. And that leaves open, like, addressing the airport's issue with the lobbyists that they're trying to hire, specifically for aviation needs. That's why that language is being added.
Don't we pretty much already have that authority with controlling of the budgets?
I'm not sure what your question is.
I mean, you're saying unless otherwise authorized, don't we already have that authority because we control all of the budgets? So, I mean, all we have to do is not approve their budget to hire someone.
If you read it as it's written right now, without that, it makes it, if you put that in there, it makes it clear that there's a exception for.
Yeah, I agree. It needs to be clear that it's not exclusive.
Correct.
That other boards and agencies and commissions can hire lobbyists.
If you approve it.
But
So-
they couldn't already without us approving their budget, correct?
If you're designating, so I guess how this came up with is trying to avoid duplicative services. So if you're trying to avoid duplicative services, then you should have another authorization if there's gonna be like a split, basically this extra need for the aviation. So, I mean, I guess if you wanna argue if it's half a dozen or 6, we could keep going, but you can pass it as is, or you could vote against it, or you could defer it.
Understand. Thank you. Oh, wait.
Yield back, Ms. Broussard. All right, seeing no further discussion, we need vote on the amending the language. Please vote on amending the language. That motion carries. Now we need a vote on the amendment and the main motion. Please vote your machines on that. And that motion carries. Next, we're off to ordinances introduced for publication, hearing, and adoption. There's none. Resolutions introduced for public hearing and adoption. Summary number 35, Madam Clerk.
A resolution appointing one member to the Spanish Lake Game and Fishing Preserve Commission, representing Iberia Parish for the remainder of a 4-year term to fill a vacancy created by the expired term, whose term expires December 31st, 2027. Applications on file from James A. Holloman and Richard James Howell II. This item was deferred at the March 12th, 2025 Iberia Parish Council meeting.
All right, council members, please vote your pads.
They both spoke. Yeah, we came last week.
Ron, watching on TV.
Wait.
Is there one? Oh, they have some over there.
Look at it. You all right about that one? I agree about that. It ain't worth $201. You all right about that one? The amount of money, time I put in this. You better than me. That's one thing.
You go, sir? I'll tally for you.
All right. District number 1, Howell. District number 2, Holloman. District number 4, Howell. District number 5, Howell. District number 6, Holloman. District number 7, Howell. District number 8, Howell. District number 9, Holloman. District number 10, Howell. District number 14, Howell. District 12, Howell. District 13, Howell.
Oh, okay. I missed it. Okay, got it.
Double check.
Okay. The votes were casted and, Mr. James A. Holloman has 3 votes, and Mr. Richard James Howell, the second, has 9 votes.
All right, congratulations, Mr. Howell. Welcome.
Do a good job.
Right. Summary number 75, introduced by Scott Ronson, District 9. Madam Clerk.
A resolution amending the 2025 general fund budget in the amount of $6,309.63 to provide adjustments to the parish president's annual salary for the fiscal year 2025 from $179,242 to $185,551.63, and related benefits as based on averaging of the annual salaries of Iberia Parish Sheriff, $213,933.85, Iberia Parish Assessor, $158,612.49, and Iberia Parish Clerk of Court, $184,108.56, all in accordance with the Iberia Parish Home Rule Charter and to be funded from fund balance previous year's line item.
All right, I need a motion. I have a motion by Councilman Ronson. I need a second. Have a second by Michael Landry. Councilman Ronson.
The everybody in here knows, I'm sure, that home rule charter dictates this process, so this is not really something we can vote on. Now, we'll go to legal because you asked to defer it, and
Yeah.
where's there any discrepancies? Or?
Yeah, so I asked to defer one, there's two issues. There's different fiscal years for these different agencies. And another issue was the way that the legislature determines what the compensation for all these different agencies is very different. Some get a fixed amount increase, some have extra percentages based on a certification or an expense allowance or a car allowance. And so just needed to make sure that we weren't basically double dipping, because the way ours is divided is we have the compensation of the parish president in two parts: the salary that you average and then the benefits that are determined. And so I checked the legislative auditor's breakdown of the salary and benefits for these other ones, and it was consistent with what they have provided currently. So basically the assessor has a certification, so they deduct that in their calculations. What I'm not, there's no definition of salary in our charter, so you just kind of have to go back to the common sense, which is a fixed compensation for a time period. So there's no overtime included in any of this. There's none, like other, I don't know if I'm expressing myself. I'm trying to express myself clearly.
All right, thanks. Just to give everybody a heads up though, they don't all get a raise at the exact same time. So we've instructed the clerks every quarter to send out an email and say, okay, did you get a raise? Did you get a raise? Did you get a raise? So we may have to revisit this, believe it or not. Unless, I'm saying.
It's possible that we'll have to revisit it in July. There's some like percentage raises that were set up in 2023 and 2024. So this, because the way our charter's written, it's recurring. It's a recurring issue.
Are you back, Mr. Chairman?
All right, Mr. Ronson yields back. Next we have up Councilman Michael Landry.
I waive.
Mr. Michael Landry waves. Next we have up with Councilman Tommy Pollard. Next up is Councilwoman Natalie Broussard.
Yeah, I think Scott's right. We're required by our charter to take the average of the annual salaries of those three individuals. And I know Mr. Richard has said time and time again he wants to get it right and he wants to follow the charter, and everybody else wants to follow the charter, and that's all I want to do as well. My concern is that in the annual salaries of this, I do realize there's a lot that's in their base salary that's added for certifications and other things. But there's also things that are added in these sums that we're using that's including car allowances and expense allowances.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a base salary, because in addition to the salary that we provide the parish president, we also provide a vehicle and expenses. So
What expenses?
all your travel.
I don't get insurance like you. I don't get those expenses.
The charter says that any reasonable expense that you incur to do
Oh, no,
your
like about
job,
travel?
you
Absolutely.
get reimbursed for.
Absolutely, like about
So
travel, yeah.
the other individuals are getting a set amount every year just to reimburse them for expenses, and you're reimbursed for any expense that you submit that's to do your job.
Right.
So that was my question to legal is that double dipping if we're including those expense reimbursements that is added in these averages and the travel allowance that's added in these allowances, since we already give him a vehicle and expense reimbursement?
So you're assuming that these are reimbursements rather than, so an allowance can just be a stipend that's set per month or per year. So I'm taking the salaries that they presented and which includes those that's paid out monthly. And also, you'll see if you look at the legislation that created those expenses and allowances, that they're actually they can be used as contributions toward retirement. They're basically treated as taxable income rather than I spent 300, here's my mileage and this is the money I get back. But like I said, there's not a definition in our charter that says salary includes this or doesn't include this. I'm going off the annual compensation of these people minus the health benefits, retirement, and whatever else is broken out. Like if the assessor says the 7% certification is not part of my salary, I'm not arguing with them. And when the other numbers were presented, I accepted that. It's the same from the sheriff's office. They broke down the amount line by line. So
They did break down the amount, saying this is their base salary and then this is all of their percentages for certifications, and this is what their expense reimbursement is, and this is what their travel allowance is. I'm asking, is your legal opinion that averaging back in the travel allowance, not the travel allowance, the car allowance and the expenses, adding that back in is not double dipping, and that is your recommendation of how we calculate his salary to be in compliance with the charter?
it's not adding it back in. It's just taking the lump sum that they're paid yearly minus your benefits and retirement. There's no adding back in. It's just
Or keeping those items in the numbers that we're using for their average?
I think that's the way that Iberia Parish government's been doing this for, I haven't gone back decades, but I did review the previous lawsuit that was alleging that the compensation wasn't being paid properly, and compare that to the legislative auditor numbers for those calendar years and what was reported as salary for that time period. So I guess my opinion is that we can continue to do it the way that we've been doing it for over 10 years.
So your opinion is it is appropriate to keep those items in the averages?
It is, like I said, we don't have the definition of in our charter that says you can include this, you can't include that, you can't include this. So my opinion is that you do have the discretion. You are allowed to continue doing it the way that you have been doing it.
And so we have the discretion to not do that as well. Is that what you're saying?
Well, to a point, you can't lower officials' salary while they're in office, so it would need to be prospective, and then there would also be grounds to challenge it, basically like it was challenged before. If there's an argument that I'm not being compensated properly, then I have a cause of action to get that compensation. But yes, I do think that because there's not a specific definition in your charter for that word, that there is some room for interpretation. So I'm not trying to tie your hands. I'm trying to, I guess, make it as clear as it can be when there's not a definition.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
It says salary is the average of those three people's salary, and the benefits or whatever the council does by resolution. And the council by resolution has given the benefits of car allowance and expense reimbursement. Well, the expense reimbursement is actually part of the charter. So I agree with you. There is room for interpretation there. I yield.
If I can.
All right.
Whenever it's my
Sorry,
turn.
you was back, Parish President.
I can tell you one thing that I have experienced over the last 2 weeks in looking to this. Everybody have an attorney, including me. I have two. So I got my attorney to look at what we have here, and I think you hit on it perfectly, Scott, when you said that the district attorney, the clerk of court, the tax assessor, and the sheriffs all get their raises throughout the year. The way we have done it in the past is when you read your charter, it clearly say that at the next meeting, this salary is supposed to be adjusted. When that salary is adjusted at that next meeting, everything takes into effect. Your parochial money that's going into this here, the parish contribution that's going into this here. So now I'm really glad that you brought this up, because now we're going back. And everything that was supposed to be done correct, we're gonna get it correct now. As far as the sheriff, he drives a personal vehicle just like me. That's his salary. So when you add, I don't know what you're doing, what you're asking for me, but I can tell you that I'm very glad you brought it up, because now we're gonna go way back to find out how my parochial retirement fund is supposed to be. And it's all because of you. And thank you so much, I appreciate that. But that's it, I'm done.
All right. Next, we have Councilwoman Natalie Broussard.
I don't,
I know you want it right, that's why I'm saying that.
that's all, and
That's all I know.
you're kind of insinuating something else.
No,
But
no,
I
I
think
know you
we're
want it
all
right.
on the same page.
That's right.
That we want it done right.
Exactly.
And if you weren't paid what you should have been paid because a raise went into effect and we didn't do it at the right meeting, I think you should get that.
Thank you.
But at the same time, if you're driving a personal vehicle and we're giving you a travel allowance, I do not
You don't give
believe.
me a travel allowance for driving a personal vehicle.
Do we provide a vehicle for
But
you?
you don't give me a travel allowance.
A car, do we give you a car allowance?
No, you don't.
Okay, do we provide you a
Do you give Public
vehicle?
Works a car allowance?
Do we provide you a vehicle?
Absolutely.
That's my
Do
point.
you give Public Works a
So-
car allowance for their salary?
We have provided
You're an
you
attorney,
with
right?
a vehicle.
You are an attorney.
I am.
Okay.
You're well aware of that.
I'm not gonna say
We
another
have
word.
provided you with a vehicle. So to use a car allowance
Next.
added into one of these other salaries to increase the average, I think is double dipping. That's it. I just want it to be done fair.
That's what we're gonna
And I think Ian answered my question. I do believe that it's subject to interpretation.
That's
And,
exactly what we're gonna
and
do.
that's,
Get it done
that's
fair.
kind of, the charter's not clear. We've had charter commissions to try to bring this to a vote, to get this straight, and, I mean, this is where we are, and until we can get the parish president's pay where it's clear, we're gonna keep getting ourselves in this jam over and over and over again. I yield.
All right, Broussard, you is back. Next we have.
No, I'm good, Mr. Chairman. I just can't wait to vote.
Okay, all right. Seeing no further discussion, you vote your machines.
I think we get out of that
Yeah, I'll have to end it because Mr. Brown is not
Yeah,
here.
Mr. Brown is absent. And that motion carries. Next, summary number 88, introduced by clerk of the council. Madam Clerk.
A resolution appointing one member to the Robert B. Green Memorial Building Advisory Board for a 5-year term. Applications on file from Ms. Kim Collins.
All right, I think Ms. Collins couldn't make it to come speak,
Family emergency.
so she wants.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to defer to the next meeting. Just get in touch with her in the meantime if you can.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Gashasan, a second by Michael Landry. No further discussion, Mr. Landry?
Defer to our next meeting, just for
We're
clarification.
going to defer it to our next meeting. Please vote your machine for deferment. And that motion has been deferred. Summary number 89, introduced by Parish President. Madam Clerk.
A resolution amending the 2025 opioid abatement fund budget and the amount of $85,000 for opioid-related expenditures to may be incurred by the 16th Judicial District Attorney's Office and Family Services Division, all to be funded from opioid funds collected through 2024.
All right, I need a motion and a second. I have a motion by Councilman Warren Gashasan. I have a second by Councilman Scott Ronsonet. Councilman Gashasan.
Waive, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Gashasan waives. Councilman Ronsonet.
This thing might be broke.
I think it takes forever to switch over.
Yeah, just for the record, for the audience out there, the opioid money that's being collected, the reason we're going to the district attorney's office is they have the people, the processes, the need, and we specifically don't. We're just a middleman, basically. We're gonna funnel the money through here. And it was actually requested at a meeting, I'll go back in 2024, by the district attorney's office to do it this way. So with that being said, I'm all for this. Going, it's out of my hands, I'm done with it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Mr. Ronson yields back. Seeing no further discussion, please vote your machines. And Mr. Gusherson is absent at voting.
Okay.
And that motion carries. Next, we have summary number 90, introduced by Parish President. Madam Clerk.
A resolution amending the 2025 opioid abatement fund budget in the amount of $200,000 to the 16th Judicial District Court judges for Iberia Parish Adult Drug Court programs for opioid-related expenses, all to be funded from opioid funds collected through 2024.
I need a motion and a second. I have a motion by Councilman Scott Ronson. I have a second by Councilman Michael Landry. Councilman Ronson.
Same as 90. Support it, please. Thank you.
All right. Councilman Ronson yields back. Councilman Michael Landry.
I second that emotion.
Councilman Landry seconds it. Seeing no further discussion, please vote your machines. And that motion carries. Next, we off to summary number 91, introduced by Parish President. Madam Clerk.
A resolution amending the 2025 Road Projects Construction Fund Budget 3440 in the amount of $20,952,850 to appropriate funding for Phase 1, Project A, B, and C for road improvements throughout Iberia Parish, with same to be funded from $17 million bond revenue in the Road Sales Tax Fund and $750,000 from the EDD number 1 fund budget budgeted in 2025.
I need a motion and a second. I have a motion by Councilman Scott Ronson, a second by Councilman Brock Pellerin. Councilman Ronson.
Mr. Chairman, after discussion, I'd like to have the ability to make a substitute motion.
All right, we'll go to the
I'll
second.
wait.
Councilman Pellerin.
Yeah, I think Parish President kind of explained this to us earlier, what was going on. So I'm good with Scott.
All right, Councilman Pellerin yields back. You had a Councilman Ronson, push it. Just speak on.
All right, here we go. Here's a substitute motion. A resolution amending the 2025 Road Projects Construction Fund Budget 3440 in the amount of $17 million to appropriate funding for Phase 1, Projects A, B, and C for road improvements throughout Iberia Parish, with the same to be funded from $17 million bond revenue and so road sales tax fund. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yield back. Councilman Gusherson.
Yield back.
Councilman Gusherson yields back. All right. We'll be voting on your substitute motion. Everybody vote your machines, please. And that motion carries. Now we need to vote on that and the main motion. Please vote your machines. And that motion carries. Summary number 92, introduced by Parish President. Madam Clerk.
A resolution amending the 2025 Road Sales Tax Fund 1190 in the amount of $2,361,275 to appropriate additional funding for Phase 1, Project A, B, and C for road improvements throughout Iberia Parish to be funded from fund balance previous years.
All right, I need a motion and a second. I have a motion by Councilman Scott Ronson. I need a second. I have a second by Councilman Brock Pellerin. Councilman Ronson.
Yeah, after discussion, I'd like to make a motion to delete this item as it It is not needed at the time. The parish president alluded to the fact that we're gonna start with the $17 million, and then if needed, we'll come back, but we'll do this at a future date. So, with that being said, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Yield back, Councilman Brock Pellerin.
I'm good.
Councilman Pellerin's good. Scott, Councilman Arsenault?
I'd like to make that motion to delete.
All right. I need a second. Second by Councilman Gachassin on deletion. Please vote your machines on deletion. And that motion carries. Okay. Summary number 93, introduced by Parish President. Madam Clerk.
A resolution amending the 2025 Criminal Justice Facility Fund budget to recognize $387,140 in revenue from Hazard Mitigation Grant Program, and further amending the 2025 Public Building Maintenance Fund budget for the remaining balance to be funded from the transfer of $129,047 from fund budget previous years for the Criminal Justice Facility Fund budget for the purpose of a jail generator.
All right, I need a motion. I have a motion by Councilwoman Natalie Broussard, a second by Michael Landry. Councilwoman Broussard?
Yeah, I think they've been working on trying to get this grant for a really long time. It's something that's very much needed, especially when we're dealing with emergency operations in times of disaster. So hope everybody can support this.
All right, yield back. Ms. Broussard?
Yeah, I yield, sorry.
Broussard yields back. Councilman Michael Landry?
I waive.
Councilman Landry waives. Seeing no further discussion, please vote your machines. And that motion carries. Summary number 94, introduced by Parish President. Madam Clerk.
A resolution amending the 2025 Sewer District Number 1 fund budget to appropriate $393,158 and additional contract payments to T-Bayou Wastewater Treatment Plant, and to recognize additional revenue of $903,158 from Grant Water Sector Commission, $240,000 match from the City of New Iberia, and $250,000 match from Iberia Parish, with same to be funded from general fund previous years.
All right, in a motion and a second, I have a motion by Councilman Warren Gachassin, a second by Councilman Michael Landry. Councilman Gachassin?
Waive.
Councilman Gachassin waives. Councilman Landry?
Waive.
Councilman Landry waives. Any further discussion? Seeing none, please vote your machines. And that motion carries. Summary number 95, introduced by Marcus Bruce Broussard, District Number 3. Madam Clerk.
A resolution authorizing Iberia Parish Public Works Department to remove a four-way stop signs on Admiral Doyle Drive and install regular stop signs on Airport Boulevard at the Admiral Doyle Drive Airport Boulevard intersection.
All right, I need a motion and a second. I have a motion by Councilman Tommy Pollard. I need a second. Second by Councilwoman Natalie Broussard. Mr. Pollard?
Yes, I know Marcus was saying that by them closing, on, what that is, Airport Boulevard to, 182, and wanna make this where the traffic continue on flowing. But I travel that pretty much every day, and if you're coming from Highway 88 and you remove those four-way stop coming through the boulevard in front of the sheriff department and everything, that's gonna be like a racetrack. People running late and everything. I can't support this. I would like to see this four-way stop stay there until they decide what they're gonna do with Airport Boulevard. But I mean, just to keep the traffic flowing the way it is, I would like to leave that four-way there. I'm here back.
All right, Mr. Pollard yields back. Next, we have Councilwoman Natalie Broussard.
I waive.
Councilwoman Broussard waves. All right, seeing no further discussion, vote your machines. And that motion carries. Next, we have ordinances introduced for publication. Summary number 5357, introduced by Brock Pellerin, District 10. Madam Clerk.
An ordinance amending Chapter 20 of the compiled ordinances to establish a speed limit of 35 miles per hour on Earl B. Wilson Road, District 10, and authorize the Public Works Department to install speed limit signs.
That's only for publication. Announcements, next council meeting will be May 14th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Please visit the Iberia Parish Government website to complete the stormwater management survey and view adjudicated properties through Civic Source. All Iberia Parish Council and Joint Committee meetings can be viewed live during scheduled meetings on the Iberia Parish Government website. I need a motion for adjournment. I have a motion by Mr. Gashasan, a second by Mr. Ronsonet. Please vote your machines for adjournment. Meeting is now adjourned. It is 8:29.
Here.
Here.
Natalie Broussard. Destin
night, ma'am.
Sawyer.
Here.
James Strong.
Here.
Scott Ronsonet. Brock Pellerin.
Here.
Brian Napier. Lady Fontanet Brown. Here. Cameron Capel.
Here.
Chad Matron.
All right, we have 11 members.
We do.
Have 11 members in a quorum. I need a motion to go into public comments. In a second, I have a motion by Councilman Warren Gashasan, a second by Scott Ronsonet. Please vote your machines to go into public comments. Lady Brown
No.
and Mr. Pollard. All right, we are now in the public comments. Item number 1, Madam Clerk.
Comments from the general public on agenda items.
All right, seeing and having none. Item number 2, Madam Clerk.
Comments from the general public on non-agenda items.
All right. Seeing and having none, I need a motion to go back into regular session. I have a motion by Tommy Pollard, second by Scott Ronsonet. Please vote your machines to go back into regular session. All right, we're now back in the regular session. We have the minutes of regular joint committee meeting of April 9th, 2025. I need a motion. Have a motion by Councilman Swear, a second by Councilman Ronsonet. Councilman Swear.
Wave.
Wave. Councilman Ronsonet. Any other discussion on the minutes? Seeing none, please vote your machines on adopting the minutes. That motion carries. Next, we have executive committee by Mr. Michael Landry. I'll hand the gavel over to him.
Call the executive committee meeting to order. The time is 8:43. Item number 1, introduced by the clerk of the council. It's a quarterly report. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Madam Clerk.
Quarterly report for comp time from the Human Resource Department ending March 2025, all in accordance with resolution number 2014-33 for committee information only, no action necessary.
Everybody should have that. Item number 2, Madam Clerk.
Discuss and consider a resolution requesting our Louisiana congressional and state delegation to introduce legislation to provide equitable representation for Iberia Parish on Twin Parish Port Commission.
We have a motion by Councilman Pellerin, a second by Councilman Gashasan.
Councilman Pellerin.
Wave.
Councilman Pellerin, wave. Councilman Gashasan.
You second.
Yeah, I was waiting on him to come up, so he's not, the cameraman's not waving to me. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I do agree with Kamen in this. We've had those conversations with some of the board and what it makes up. believe it or not, Iberia Parish land-wise, we represent a lot more in that district, and I agree, we need our fair share at the table. So thank you for putting this up, Ken.
Yield back.
Yes.
Councilman Capel.
So just to kind of touch on what Councilman Gotcha said, so Iberia Parish puts 470,000 into the Twin Parish Port, and Vermilion puts 230,000. And we have 2 out of 11 board members on the Twin Parish Port. And where our problem kind of lies is in Delcom. So Delcom is split, Vermilion and Iberia, and Delcom gets the pick. So if they pick all members from Vermilion, we only have 2 members, just like what's happening right now. So hopefully our legislation can change something about that and get us some representation.
Okay.
I'll wait back.
All right, Mr. Capel, you was back.
No
No one
other.
else on the floor.
Vote your machines. That motion. Need a motion to,
We have a motion by Conley Pollard and a second by Scott Ronsonet.
Y'all switched it without voting. That's good. All in favor? Aye. Those opposed?
I now call the Finance Committee meeting to order. The date is April 23rd, 2025. The time is 8:46 p.m. Item number 1, Madam Clerk.
Discuss and consider a resolution amending the 2025 parish-wide drainage fund budget in the amount of $621,736 to account for additional funds to be received as a result of the 2024 mosquito control drainage tax surplus distribution, and further amending the 2025 mosquito control drainage fund budget in the amount of $1,225,792 to provide for the surplus distribution in accordance with the sales tax proposition.
I have a motion by Mr. Trahan, a second by Councilman Warren Goshenson. Mr. Trahan, you have the floor.
I'll waive, sir.
Mr. Goshenson, you have the floor.
Waive, Mr. Chairman.
Seeing no further discussion, please vote your machines. That motion passes unanimously. Item number 2, Madam Clerk.
Discuss and consider a resolution amending the 2025 mosquito control drainage fund budget and the amount of $95,000 to provide for carryover of equipment funding.
I got a motion by Councilman Goshenson. I need a second. I got a second by Councilman Trahan. Mr. Goshenson, you have the floor.
Waive, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Trahan, you have the floor.
Waive, sir.
Mr. Pollard, you waived. Seeing no further discussion, please vote your machines. That motion passes unanimously. Item number 3, Madam Clerk.
Discuss and consider a resolution amending the 2025 Acadiana Fairgrounds Commission fund budget and the amount of $85,120 to provide carry forward for 2024 grant for the purchase of equipment, event timer system, blower, weed eater, pressure washer, and work at Acadiana Fairgrounds, replace sprinklers, close-in restrooms, air-conditioned restrooms, and close-in concession area.
I have a motion by Councilman Trahan. I need a second. I got a second by Councilman Landry. Mr. Trahan, you have the floor.
Waive, sir.
Councilman Landry, you have the floor.
I waive.
Seeing no further discussion, please vote your machines as is. That motion passes unanimously. Item number 4, Madam Clerk.
Discuss and consider amending the 2025 general fund budget in the net amount of $41,832 to carry forward the remaining LGAP equipment grant expenditure of $60,000.
I need a motion. I have a motion by Councilman Trahan, second by Councilman Landry. Mr. Trahan, you have the floor.
Waive, sir.
Councilman Landry, you have the floor.
Waive.
Seeing no further discussion, please vote your machines as is. That motion passes unanimously. Item number 5, Madam Clerk.
Discuss and consider amending the 2025 EDD fund budget and the amount of $847,103 to provide for carryover of projects.
I have a motion by Councilman Trahan. I need a second. I need a second. I have a second by Councilman Mathurin. Mr. Trahan, you have the floor.
Waive.
No, everybody's, wait, hold on. Brock, hold on. All right, Mr. Pellerin, you have the floor.
Cancel.
All right, I just did. Seeing no further discussion, please vote your machines as is. That motion passes unanimously. Item number 6, Madam Clerk.
Discuss and consider amending the 2025 Public Buildings Fund budget and the amount of $185,522 to provide for carryover of 2024 projects.
I need a motion. I have a motion by Councilman Trahan. I have a second by Councilman Mathurin. Mr. Trahan, you have the floor.
Waive, Mr. Chairman.
Councilman Mathurin, you have the
Waive,
floor.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Pollard, never mind, it went away. Seeing no further discussion, please vote your machines. Item number 6 as is. That motion passes unanimously. Item number 7, Madam Clerk. 7.
Discuss and consider amending the 2025
Coach
royalty fund budget and the net amount of $2,554,885 for the following approved projects. 1, to carry over unspent GOMESA funding in the amount of $554,885 for various approved projects. Number 2, to carry over federal funding in the amount of $308,000 for a Bayou Park Purdue drainage grant project. Number 3, to carry over correct state CPRA funding and the amount of $393,529 for various projects. And 4, to carry over CWEF funding and the amount of $170,000 for various projects.
I have a motion by Councilman Mathurin, a second by Councilman Gashasam. Mr. Mathurin, you have the floor.
I do have a question for Mr. Parish President. Can we get an update on Bayou Park Purdue? Anytime in the future?
You can. I can get with Dax, get him to come here.
Yeah, I think it's been a little while and kind of like to know where we stand with that.
Okay.
I'll wait.
Thank you.
Waive, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Gashasam waves. Seeing no further discussion, please vote your machines. Item number 7 as is. That motion passes unanimously. Item number 8, Madam Clerk.
Discuss and consider amending the 2025 Public Buildings Maintenance Fund budget and the amount of $19,897.42 for Phase 2 repairs to the American Legion Post 549 Veteran Hall 2, the Harry Eugene, located in Jeanerette, Louisiana, as follows. Replacements of everything in ceiling area, including all fans, lights, ceiling grids, and ceiling panels throughout the building. Kitchen, restrooms, and banquet room, all to be funded from general fund budget previous year.
I have a motion by Councilwoman Lady Brown. I have a second by Councilman Gashasam. Ms. Brown, you have the floor.
Yeah, so this is to finish the repairs for the Veterans Hall. We did phase 1 and came out really, really nice, and so this is to complete all of the requested renovations. I yield back.
Councilman Gashasam, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, we need to be careful on this one. I know it says public building maintenance, so we'll need to amend that because we're still at about 3.1 million. Still, our cash flow is kind of low in that account. So I know it says from general fund previous years. Let's amend the top to also say to amend the 2025 general fund budget.
Can I come right back? I have
Yeah,
a motion.
sure. I yield back.
Mr. Pellerin, you have the floor.
Yeah, I just, is that the set amount? I mean, we know it's gonna be that amount?
That's what the bid came in.
Okay,
All right. You good, Mr. Pellerin?
I'm good.
All right. Come on, Rat. Mr. Gashasam, you have the floor.
I'd like to make the motion to amend the language to include the first line item 2025 general fund budget in the amount of $19,897.42.
I have a second by Mr. Trahan. You good with that? Any further discussion? Y'all have the
Almost a brand new
substitute?
building there, Ms. Brown.
You good with the substitute? No, Ms. Carey? You got it?
We don't have a
Okay.
couple minutes.
We're gonna go ahead and vote item number 8 with the substitute motion. Substitute only. All right, substitute is approved as, now we're gonna vote on item number 8, main motion with the substitution.
Dang.
Mr. Swear, Ms. Brown, Mr.
Not
Montaran,
unanimous, no way.
Mr. Swear.
Unanimous. All for that motion.
Item number 8
Mr.
passes.
Chairman.
I have a motion by Mr. Gachassin to adjourn. I need a second. I got a second by Mr. Landry. Please vote your machines on adjournment. Ms. Broussard, Mr. Swear, Mr. Montaran,
Just wait another
Mr.
year before we say
Montaran,
the Jefferson.
Mr. Montaran, adjournment. Meeting adjourned.
I now call the Public Works Committee to order. Time is 8:56. Item number 1, introduced by Michael R. Landry, District 2.
Discuss and consider a resolution requesting the Louisiana Department of Transportation to install a traffic light at the intersection of Highway 675, Jefferson Island Road, and Grand Prairie Road.
Motion by Landry.
I got a motion by Councilman Landry and a second by Councilman Gotchason. Councilman Landry?
I'm gonna request everybody support this one. We about to have a lot of traffic goes on with First Solar Warehouse, and they've given us a lot of money to even widen Grand Prairie out. So I hope, I've talked to the state delegation, they all in support of it, so, thank you.
All right.
Can I say, that's exactly what I was gonna ask. If there's a way, I don't know when Carrie writes this here or whatever, but we would like to send a copy of that to the delegation. Marcus, representative. Good. 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 That's great.
Oh, never mind.
That should come automatic.
This is really an important deal.
Like the state don't like to do it.
They're gonna have a turn lane, yeah.
It's a state road and a parish road, so we gotta push it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Councilman Landry waves back. Councilman Gotchason waves.
You good?
Seeing no other conversation, everyone vote their machines.
We can vote 2 times?
Mr. Gotchason.
You, I think you wanted to keep this.
Motion to adjourn, aye.
Or do you want me to keep it?
Second by Ms. Broussard.
Okay.
Ms. Brown,
All
Brown.
right, man. Long leg, be good.